Please note the views and opinions expressed by the hosts on this show are not necessarily the views held by the station.
You're listening to Critical Mass Radio. Now it's our turn.
Well, good evening. Wednesday evening, very early Thursday morning for those in the UK and Europe. Like really early. Anyway, welcome to Outside the Box. I'm your hostess, Kate of Gaia, and I've got a clue what I want to talk about tonight. Producer didn't show up. Oh, right, I'm the producer. Yeah, it's been, I had a couple of interesting conversations today. Not here, I was out and about for a little bit today, and chatting with some friends I hadn't seen in a while. There is most definitely a shift occurring. This you can see. You can experience it. It's a problem when I do get out and about. I don't get much of a chance to, follow my yellow brick road, where I like to on my notebook. You see, when I'm out traveling or whatever, it's very well. Everything in terms of following yellow brick road is you specific or me specific, right? I've really got no words for it. It's just one of those days. All the synchronicities, and maybe I'm just getting bored with the synchronicities already. Like great, that's awesome. Now show me something, will you? Right? A whole lot more blatant. So what I really want to do tonight, maybe you guys can help me out, and get on the board and we just have a chat and let's see where it goes. Kind of like a now flowing sort of show instead of, guaranteed there's going to be something downloaded, no question. That goes without saying. Just kind of curious to see what direction it's going to take. I do see Fran on the board. Sorry, I missed your call earlier. I was out and about. I don't do that very often, and my apologies. It's and I mean that in the most, mundane way. It's we all got shit to do, right? It's one of the things about being at my helm for as many hours a day as I am. People from all around the world can access me at some point where it's convenient for them. And on occasion, I go out for a few hours and come back, and I have 20 Skype things to attend to. I haven't even checked my mail in 2 days. That's normal, though. I don't check my email very often. It's slow, sluggish. It has the same effect as Facebook when I'm trying to text. It likes to jump. It's almost like every letter you type, it wants to upload it. Tell you what, why don't you wait till it's done and then we'll upload it. Right? But anyway. Yeah, so I was going to see if you guys would be into jumping in here. Oh, there's Consuela. All right. Someone's got their Skype up and running. Someone got on the board. And let me see. So, tell you what, I'm going to open up Ninjas just to say thank you for putting your painting up on the gallery on kateofgaia.wordpress.com. It's so nice just to click that and be able to go and have a look at it. Beautiful piece of work. And Miranda, because I know this trio will get things rolling pretty good. I just want to see what's been going on with your days. Anybody?
Hello. Hi.
There you are. How are you?
I'm good. I spent my day dyeing stuff today.
Nice.
I dyed some Duvay's tulip red, and it's come out a very lovely sort of pinky rosy colour, gorgeous as the top. So I'm very happy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Very nice. Oh, the priorities of life, eh? I love it. I love it. And we have Magnolia on, and I know that there's a little story to share there, and we're going to absolutely bring that in. Are you there, Ninja?
Yeah, hi Kate, hi Miranda, hi everybody.
Hello.
I'd forgotten putting anything up there, and you just confused me, so I had to go and have a look.
Oh, yeah, you were...
That's so weird. I just completely forgot I'd done it.
Yeah.
What's she talking about?
Yeah, well, I actually went to check to make sure you had, and if you hadn't, I was going to give you shit tonight because I wanted to see it. What a bitch, eh? Just making sure that these beautiful presentations that people have get shared. And Kevin had tagged me earlier about, is it okay to share things on my Facebook timeline? Of course. If it's fear porn, I just delete it. So, and that also goes for any photographs that I would deem to be fear porn. Actually, I just got included in a chat that is fear porn, and it's what are the allegories, guys? And that's the thing, is I haven't had a chance to really go over it. It was regarding perfluorocarbons. I mean, this is 70s stuff, but again, it's movie set, right? And hey, there's that set word again, eh? You gotta love that. Was that the one we touched on the other night, Miranda?
Yeah, it just keeps popping up, setting the record straight.
Yeah, no doubt, eh? And of course, French 7 is set. So there you go. You know, your absolute good and absolute evil are in the same sound, set. Right? 7 and Satan. That's everything's in the mirror here, equal and opposite. And the more polarized you get to one side or the other means, well, I'll tell you, you'll never find the yellow brick road. You can't be polarized and see it. That's it. Because if you are, okay, well, let's go to both sides of it. If you are stuck in a constant bliss and not seeing anything in contrast, I would probably hazard to call you delusional, and that's okay. They usually, they do interesting things with people that are in constant bliss, which, of course, is not right either, as far as I'm concerned, but I'm just trying to show a contrast. And others that are in constant gloom and doom, in the fear motif, can't see anything good. It's like someone that can't see anything bad and someone that can't see anything good are polarized to the extremes, right? You want to be able to see both sides at the same time, and that'll keep you right on the straight and narrow, on the Pacific Rim, if you, as it were, the rim of the coin, But yeah, so I'm very happy that you put that up, Ninja. Thank you so much for that. A little bit of a roundabout way to get there, but there you go. Yeah, I'm like today. I just, Mercury's in retrograde. That one was really obvious today. It was hotter than all get out too, but so it was nice to actually get out and feel the wind coming through the car. So that's it. We're just going to talk about tulips and tulip dye and paintings, or any other ideas. Here, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna bring magnolia in. I'm a bitch tonight, so get over it. And I'm going to bring in. We got magnolia. And maybe Magnolia will share a bit of her day, and I know that's certainly a tangent I can really go off into and outline things. Magnolia, you there? Come in, Magnolia. Unmute your mic. Okay, guess that's not working either. I've got the mic open. All right, Blu-ray, you're up. And I know you're really shy, so I'm batting 1,000 here. Everyone's so talkative tonight. Maybe we'll just play songs all night. How are you doing, Blu-ray?
Oh, I'm doing great. Hey, Kate, how are you?
Good. Yeah, it's kind of sort of the doldrums, where there's no wind blowing the sails kind of thing. That's what doldrums are, by the way. It's not like when you're feeling blue. It's the doldrums are when your sails are empty. And you're kind of sitting in the middle of the Sargasso Sea, as it were, and not going anywhere real quick. So there you go, the honest answer. Yeah. So what's been going on with you?
Well, we just finally got rain here, so I was just sitting outside in the thunderstorm.
Oh, nice. Yeah, we've got some threatening clouds here right now. It had a little bit of thunder. Today it keeps getting really dark, and then the sun breaks through, and it gets really dark. Here's the allegory, though. We got a lot of flooding going on, right, around the world, and of course people are also flooding into the streets. So that for me is the allegorical reality of truth is pouring out of every seam here. So we got the pressure on. We're making a difference. I think that's good.
Definitely good.
Yeah. My goodness, you guys are not talkative at all tonight.
Sorry about that.
No worries. Oh, it looks like we lost Magnolia, and let me see if somebody just came back in. Oh, Holly's going.
I'll give you a little.
Keep going.
Synchronicity. I've got some DVDs on the top of my desk here. The top one is the Adjustment Bureau. The bottom one is Highlander, and the middle one is Magnolia. She's sandwiched in between the two.
Oh, isn't that interesting?
Mm.
I'm sure I could pick an allegory out of that one. So you have the Adjustment Bureau, which is the game, as it is, and of course Highlander. There is only one. There shall be only one, right? Allegory. Mm. And then Magnolia. I haven't seen that one, so I can't really pass comment on it.
Oh, Kate, have you not seen? Oh my God.
Okay, here's a little shout out to everybody. I'm gonna throw some reality into people's worlds. Okay, one, I haven't been in my house for a year and a half, and for 2 years before that, didn't watch any TV, and I haven't had one. So, kind of adjust to that, would you, everyone, please? Just
I might even have to send it to you.
Oh,
it is mind blowing.
I can probably find it. It'll probably be online somewhere or whatever.
Yeah, it's just, and it's a film that you literally need to sit down and know that for 2.5, nearly 3 hours, you're just not going to do anything else. It's a really long film. It doesn't feel like a long film. It felt like, woo, where did it go? And I was like, don't stop. Please don't stop, ever. It's incredible. It's like 5 or 6 different strange stories, and it's all married together with crazy things that happen. When sometimes masses of dead birds are found that just suddenly land on the ground. It's about, coincidences and weird. You'll love it. Love it, love it, love it.
Okay, well, I'll definitely hunt that one down. Sounds almost like a flavor of Cloud Atlas to it, with intertwining storylines.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I like things like that, because you stay on your toes, when you're trying to see how everything connects. I look for the common thread. It was really interesting to hear Lana and Andy Wachowski talking about Cloud Atlas in one of their interviews when they got the book and what they were going to do to it and the different treatments they did to condense this book down. 500-page book, by the way. That's a long book to put into it's almost 3-hour movie. But it was nice to hear what they were saying, what they were trying to do, and these were all the things that I picked up on etherically. I could see what the connections were within it. So it sounds like my kind of movie.
Yeah, and everybody in it is just incredible. Tom Cruise is in it.
Okay.
And I think he plays the best part he's ever played in anything. He's absolutely vile in this. Beyond.
Oh, really?
Spectacularly wonderful. And I never thought I'd say that about Tom Cruise.
Yeah, there was another movie. It was a comedy he was in. He was playing the Uber producer, powerhouse money guy.
Yeah.
You remember that one? And he was playing this overweight, bald, just vile character. I thought it was actually hilarious. Like Tom Cruise, I can take or leave either way. He's got some decent stuff in him. But I know what you're saying. And when you see people pull off really, really good roles, and I know, well, just based on the fact of the way he was in this comedy, I can only imagine what he's like when he's really trying to be vile.
Yes, he does it absolutely swimmingly. It's beautiful, and it's got Philip Seymour Hoffman in it. William H. Macy, Alfred Molina, Julianne Moore, John C. Reilly, Jason Robards.
Nice.
It's spectacular.
What's it called?
Magnolia. And it's not Steel Magnolias, it's Magnolia on its own.
Okay.
There you go. And Charisma just tagged me. I'm going to have to. Well, I'm going to be over there on Friday, so I'm going to give you a walkthrough on how this all works, kiddo. But in the meantime, what I will do is, there we go. Because I know Charisma's going to be chatty. And Holly, your line is open, by the way, hon.
Yeah, I'm just going to pipe in here before you kick me out of the club for not talking.
Oh, no one gets kicked out. I just,
I have a real sketchy connection here. I'm piggybacking off of a neighbor, so sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. But I'm always happy that I can stay on long enough to catch the whole show. And I wanted to just tell you how much I have really appreciated the whole gathering of everybody on it, and it's just amazing. It was meant to be, I know that, to run into all of you, however I got here. I'm not sure, but...
Well, it's perfect, right? So
it is totally perfect.
And you're right, it is quite the gathering. I appreciate it.
Oh my gosh, I know, it's a blessing. For sure. And then I was real inspired after Patty's talk the other night. That was really great. Got everybody kind of up and going on the processes that we should.
Okay, one sec. We got someone making a lot of noise in the background. They either got a really sensitive mic, so just be mindful, because I was missing a lot of what you were saying there, Holly. So sorry about that. Go again.
Oh, just about Patty's talk the other night and how I think it really was just stimulating, and I do believe in the magic, and that's really what we need to be doing. We need to stop trying to deal with things on this plane and move into the higher places where we can get some things done, and I'm all for that. I've been looking for it, and I'm pretty worn out and tired of just listening to speakers and hearing the scary stories about our planet and all that's going on, and I just I would rather be a part of making some things happen and making a difference, and looking to find myself. So
I agree, and that's really the wind's picking up. I think we're going to get hammered here, but yeah, I totally agree. I mean, you can tune in to any, quote, truthers station or whatever at any given point that you want, and you're just going to keep hearing the same things over and over again. And you're not going to solve anything by talking about the same things over and over. It's, you got to do things that are, radically different. And, and it is. It's putting, like for me, especially coming on and doing what I do, I mean, I'm not, what's the best word? I'm going to test every limit I've got. I'm going to test every boundary that I think I have, okay? And I'm going to reach outside the box just to see what I find. Because we've all been dealing with the same box over and over and over again, and we're coming up with the same, bits and bytes in every handful, right? It's never different. So I just chose to change the bag is all, right?
Exactly. That's what needs to happen.
Yeah, well, you guys are making it happen, so.
Right. We are, and I was really was excited to hear you say, last night you said something, or somebody brought up about how you make lights go out, pop, on the street lights and stuff, and I've been doing that for years and years and years and trying to investigate that phenomenon and people that have that happen, and I wanted you to repeat what you said about why that happens.
Okay. When you are in a state of generally, well, we can call it bliss, we can call it whatever we want, but when you were in an elevated state of mental being, typically most of the times I would was this, well, it still occurs, right? You're in a very high frequency, and what you're doing is you're getting into, because you've got your own light, this is just more proof that the light here is not ours. Okay, so what you're doing is you've got the sine wave of the light coming out, and you become the neutralizing cosine wave, vice versa. All right. So if you can think of a sine wave going, up and down, and then put one alternating with it to cancel it out, and that's what you're doing, because you're vibrating at that level. So you're actually in your light state, and you cancel out the frequency, and it blows them. That's been my theory for a long time.
Wow, that makes sense. Yeah, interesting thing. Sometimes they, and it is a certain. I mean, I can detect the energy space that I'm in when that happens, because sometimes it doesn't, but I am sort of in this place where I'm just, I'm in a higher frequency. I don't even know how to explain it, but
that's it. You're just, what you're doing is you are emanating. We all emanate, right? We've got huge auric fields, right? Universe-wide, actually. So when you get your own vibration up into a very heightened state, you're vibrating where you'll cancel out the poison light. You become the pure light, and the poison light gets knocked out.
Yep. Cool.
Yeah, and it was Tropic Thunder. Thank you, Randy. You posted that. I did see that. The one where Tom Cruise is playing the aged producer, balding fat guy kind of motif. It was really, really an interesting role to see Tom play. But I no harm to Tom. I'm not a big fan. He's done some decent stuff, so I just wanted to toss that out there too. Now, there was something else came up in the room. I want to bring this up. Don't go anywhere, Holly. Where was it? Got to get to 11 stuff. There was another one that Kevin had mentioned. Now You See Me is another one. And trying to see what else. Oh, Star Trek Into Darkness today. Yes. That vioaz.com or .co, whatever, is a pretty cool site for some current movies and for some really neat older ones. It's just a pain in the ass with the pop-up, so put your pop-up blocker on high. Otherwise, I'm just quick on the draw. I'll wait for the pop-up and slam it. It goes faster for me. Okay. All right. Anyway, I just want to. Sorry if I sound distracted today, guys. It's because I have not been able to center it all today, at all. Oh, Jeremiah's on the board. I see Jeremiah. Yeah. So, but you're absolutely right, Holly. The gathering of people that we have coming in here. You see, this is one of the reasons. Like tonight, I was thinking before I came on, there was nothing just went blam like it usually does. I'm thinking, I'm going to throw this one out to the table and see where it goes with everybody else. And, of course, when I get on the air and start talking, I generally get into a role, so most people aren't ready to start talking at the beginning of the show anyway. At least that's what I've found. So, yeah, no worries. But, what kind...
I have... so many days where I just have a low, and I've been trying to put my finger on why exactly that is, I guess it's probably a combination of everything, the planets and maybe what you ate the night before, or who knows, but man, it's weird because you can just be on a high and then the next hour it's flat and nothing seems to come together, so I don't know why that is.
Well, yeah, and I've been a workhorse for little stage stuff and everything else, but I have never went 7 nights a week doing anything in terms of having to be somewhere at a specific time, right? Oh yeah, the wind's kicking up here. So how long have I been doing the 7 nights a week? I've been doing it for a while.
Oh my God, I think about it all the time. I have no idea how you do it. You talk for 3 hours every night.
And that's that makes two of us. That's a question that comes up for myself very regularly. But lo and behold, something seems to jump in. Yeah. And speaking of, Magnolia is back. I'm just gonna open up her line too, get everybody in. Gonna open up Jeremiah's as well because I know he'll have something to say. And don't worry, Consuela, get ready. We'll get you in here. So Magnolia.
Hello.
Hello. How was your day?
Oh, wonderful now. Yeah, it's been quite an experience today. A little nerve-wracking at first, but good.
Yeah,
I got a lot of things accomplished.
Yeah, it gets that way when people are there to threaten to steal your home and shit. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, the little minion showed up at my home yesterday afternoon to tell me I had 24 hours in which to leave. And I asked him to leave my property, and he took it as though I was where he asked me if I was threatening him, and I said, I don't know where you're getting that from. Anywho, I'll make a long story short. After he called a couple of his buddies, there were 2 sheriffs and 1 police officer. And I made sure I got their cards because I tried to explain myself to them. But, of course, they're just there to read the little piece of paper and walk away.
Yep.
Isn't that just fabulous? Anywho, I went in and after, trying to catch my breath, because I don't like to confront people. I'm not that I'm afraid. It's just guys that have guns that are up in my face, I'm a little nervous around. I can't, fight bullets. I bleed too. So after I got myself together this last night and this morning, I doing my wee and trying to meditating as best I'm able to at this point. I'm getting there. And got up this morning and started making phone calls, sending emails to Secretary of State. Shoot, I even called the local county commissioners, a number of people, and then sent emails. And then I went up to the store today and faxed my I Who Shall Not Be Named, along with the lovely little paper that the gentleman at the sheriff's department decided to give me, or drop off at my home.
Yeah, it wasn't for you.
No, it wasn't.
That's the joke of it.
Yeah, that kind of came up in conversation. The poor man, I don't think he knew quite what to do. So I ended up calling the sheriff back this morning just to talk to him to find out, well, I've never experienced anything like this. All I know is that these people are lying. They've committed fraud. They are, attacking me, and they're using you to be their strong arm. You're their hired gun, and they don't give a rat's ass, about what harm you're causing me. And it took me a minute, but he was able to get nice, I guess, break through that little wall they have.
Yeah, the meat stick exterior. Yeah.
There you go. Then he was kind enough to tell me that, he goes, you're trying to leave? And I said, no, you're forcing me to leave. I have nowhere to go, no means to go anywhere. You're basically telling me I'm going to have to lose my job, my means and everything, and be out on the street. So, 24 hours isn't going to cut it, and I don't... And he goes, well, how much time do you need? I said, I need lots of time. I don't understand why you're even at my door and I'm in this situation, because I had already sent paperwork. I've already gone through the appropriate channel.
Magnolia, I want to jump in here.
Sorry, honey, I didn't mean to run off.
No, that's okay. No, you're doing fine. I want to reiterate something here, very critical. When you're talking with these assholes, okay, be careful what you say with them, right? Because they're looking for any means of contract, any means of consent. If anyone asks me that, I said, well, I need about, say, about 140 years. That should do it. Thanks. Deadline accepted. You see what I'm saying? Because what they'll do is they do the jarhead jitterbug, baby. They will dance around. They're trained to do this, right?
Okay,
they don't know why they're trained for it, but it's all a game to them once they get into the program. You know, how do I get someone's consent? I've watched this game getting played every time. You know, you give them nothing. Give them nothing. You know?
Yeah, the deputy that I spoke to who handles this stuff apparently did not get my email that I sent to, about 20, 30 people, 20 people or so. Right. And but apparently the sheriff received his and gave it to the deputy, so I know it got in-house, so I was happy about that. And I asked him to read it. I said that you're a smart man. You could understand what is going on, and I just don't think it's fair that you're being used to cause harm to people. And he was very nice, and, I said thank you. And he, said he'd call me back this afternoon, which he did. And he was very rushed and hurried, and his conversation only lasted like 30 seconds. He goes, so-and-so and so-and-so law firm, you have until July 22nd at 1 o'clock. They're going to send you a letter. Oh, and that was it. And I said, well, can I get a phone number, a fax number? And I got that, and I just said, thank you very much, and hung up. And that was it. And then I proceeded to call the attorney, just a general number, because I just wanted their fax number. I didn't want to talk to anybody, just wanted their fax number. I plan on sending it to them also. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm a whole lot more in people's faces than that. I wonder. See, I'm hardball when it comes to fraud, right? So tell you what. Here, hang on. Just wait. I'm trying to give you some ammo here, get you into a whole different way of thinking because we've been duped for so long. Now, where was I going? Sorry, that was a hookup, and it just got disconnected. One sec. Give me a sec. We're dealing with fraud here. Okay, I play hardball on this. Okay, and the only thing that needs to be proven here is who owns the name. The name you're using, I do not own. I do not make any claim to it. So go find its owner and talk to them, because it's got nothing to do with me. There was a fraud at birth. And you can send the information along, but it's very simple. Lawyers, they can use the copyrights in their names, but the cop can't. So actually, the fact that he's calling you, he's committing fraud within a fraud, right? And I very blunt and say, listen, the very name you think is yours isn't, and the fact that you're using it is you're in fraud as well. So you're coming to me with unclean hands to begin with. You have no authority. Because you're fraudulent in your title, in your office, and in the very name that you think is yours. Right? So that's the thing about anyone in the cops or anybody in the system. They're coming to you with unclean hands. The only ones that play the game at the higher level are the ones that have crossed the bar, that have been given the copyright use of it, so that they're not committing fraud by contacting. But the fact of the matter is, they're aiding and abetting others into committing fraud. So even being a bar member, sorry guys, it's not a bulletproof shield, because it actually takes you a level down. Because there is forever intent to commit fraud by the very virtue that they've crossed the bar. All right, so I really need people to get this concept and start handing this shit back to them. This is why I'm telling people, outside of you, Magnolia, I know you've been busy at it, but find law firms and start firing these I who shall not be named. Long and short of it, just throw them into an email. I don't care if you know the law firm or not. Pick whatever town you're in. Pick a handful of law firms. The emails are easy to find. These guys are money hungry. They put their information up. I'll tell you, I know how badly I've scared a few government offices, because government offices that used to have their email address up don't have their email address up anymore. Yeah,
I found that to be true.
Right.
That's why, a lot of them got rejected. Their servers don't accept them. I guess they don't.
Well, because they don't want to have to deal with it, because once an email is sent, it's done. That's why it's called, no mail, but there's a dash in there that separates it. So it's not actually a prefix. It's got a hyphen there, email, right?
Yeah.
And it's like any other mail. I mean, when you get a reply back, what is it? General post failure or something?
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Just like the post office. Pay attention to the messages and you'll see it. And I hate talking about their whole law thing because it's all bullshit anyway. But in their realm, an email is deemed mail. And we can go back to that, 1873, where anything sent through the mail is deemed to be contract with the intent to send it. Never mind who's getting it. It's deemed accepted upon being sent. Right? So you can send out whatever you want to anyone, and it's deemed an acceptable contract.
And what about faxes?
It's all the same. It's all the
same. That's what I thought through the phone.
Yeah, it's all the same stuff. So, and this is the thing. I don't know why people feel that they have to follow this rule and that. They don't. I make them up as I go along. I said that the other night. They do.
Yeah, somewhere along the line you have lost all fear and intimidation of dealing with those people, and of course, we're all so conditioned to fear them and kowtow to what they tell us. But so any advice on how to have less fear and and them controlling us?
Just baby step your way to it. You'll get through. And don't kid yourself.
There's always like that. Where you just didn't have any fear of that, or did you get over it?
No, that's what I was just going to say. Don't kid yourself. There's still some things that I have to work through, but I've taken a lot more baby steps than most people. That's the only difference. So I'm at a point now where I got that was powerless on their part, and then that was powerless. That's why I tell people just fire emails off.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how scary is that? Do you send email? Well, of course, everyone's busy doing their Facebook posts and all the rest of it. They can do that all day long. But put a LLC in front of it, and every limited liability corporation, and people go, ooh, hell, the first emails I was sending out were going to all these people, like right out of the gate. I'm talking the cops, I'm talking the Queen, the Pope, everybody. I didn't give a shit. The Rothschild.
You just got to remember. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I was just going to say it's just about planting seed, putting the intent out there. Right? Stay focused on the intent.
Yeah, and as far as dealing with the people, the minions or whatever you want to call them, the people of these so-called authority figures, they put their pants on just like you and I do. I mean, there's not their color, they bleed red too. They eat, they have families. They're just they're really no different than us, other than they've got us scared.
That's what
their fear.
Oh, I know.
Intimidation.
That's why they use them.
Pretty suit on. Yeah.
Because they are just like us. That's why they use these people. But these guys that are doing it have no idea what they're doing. They think they're doing their job. At what point does legal and lawful replace right and wrong? And that's what's happened here, is the whole concept of right and wrong. You ask anybody about someone getting pulled out of their home because they've uncovered a fraud, which is exactly what I did on a grand scale, and you give them all the details, and there's no question as to what the real situation is. But you got these guys that are programmed, and girls that are programmed into doing everything by a a flow chart.
Mm-hmm.
But if I don't do this, I won't have a job. Oh, okay, so and there's that whole divide and conquer. Oh, obviously your family is more important than my family. Oh, okay. And that's what it boils down to.
That's exactly it.
That's you know, I'm just doing my job. I've had guys tell me that. I've got a family to feed. And I've said that too. I said, I'm sorry, I didn't realize your family was more important than mine. And here's the big irony: what you're sharing with that sheriff is the very information that would set him free as well. So that's what I'm saying. They're imprisoning themselves. Right?
I made sure I made that little statement to him, and I said, you're my neighbor, my friend. You're, just the same as me. I mean, this is what is pertinent that's going on with me could happen to you also. And I said, you're a bright man. You should, read that document good. You'll understand. You got it. You'll figure it out. Anyway, and I was just very pleasant with him and hung up. But the county commissioner was a different story. He's going to stand by and let the officers do what they're supposed to do, what they're paid to do, because they're all tied in and they all pay each other, Sorry.
The first question I'd be asking the county commissioner is, I'm sorry, sir, are you a Mason? By any chance, are you a member of the Masonic? Actually, do an investigation. You got his name, you can find out. And if they are, they're in direct conflict of interest. That's the thing. Anyone that is a bar member and a Masonic Lodge member is actually in a conflict of interest. End of story. You can't do both.
Yeah. Yeah, this is an interesting little town. I did some digging history on it just to see where I was, since we were supposed to look into where we were born, why we're here, and all that. That was, cool. I encourage people to do that too once they get going. See where you are.
Yeah, but again, getting back to the fear thing.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, you're handling it step by step. That I see, and it's not easy. I know. I've been where you are. I didn't have the information that I have now, right now, which is I wish I had, but I had to get through that to get the information. See, so everything is going lockstep. The movie's unfolding as it should. What we need to do is just ramp up the energy. That's it.
Right. Well, I was a secretary back east in Washington, D.C. for a while, for about 12 years. So I've, worked in a lot of different professions and, been around the government and worked on, really people, they are no different than you and I. They just, think that they've got a better position because they make a little bit more money than you. And it's all in their head.
Yeah, divide and conquer. Money.
Yep.
So I go right back to telling people to cut up the credit cards. Now, I thought I saw Patty on the board. And she's not there right now. Yeah, elitism, guru, you got it. That's exactly what it is. Let's go back to the caste system, since we're talking movies, right? This whole thing is a movie. All the world's a stage. And they're different actors unfolding in front of you, and how you direct them is your choice. So here we are listening to the extras most of the time. I just decided to say, screw that. I'm the director here. But there's only one question that has to be answered. I'll tell you what. I want you to prove to me, beyond any reasonable doubt, that this is my name. And keep in mind, it's got a copyright on it, so you're going to have to find out who owns the copyright. Because I sure don't. And if I was to claim something that was copyright in their system, belonging to somebody else, what would happen to me? Well, I'll tell you what will happen. Oh, there's Patty. All right, I must have missed her on the board there. Okay, so it is this simple, guys, and we've walked the roads of UCC, Winston Shrout, all of it. Okay, we've walked all these different roads, and they were all roads to right back to the egocentric on the yellow brick road. All right, it's very simple. It's only one question that needs to be answered. You're claiming that, I'm not claiming this name. You're claiming that I'm this name, and it's copyright. I don't own the copyright to that. So I'll tell you what. Before you think you can give me something that does not belong to me, because I know it doesn't, go and find out who owns the copyright and contact them. It's got nothing to do with me.
Absolutely right. Stood in court and said as much.
And people, and I want to correct people on this again. When you talk, I'm talking third party, everybody. Something comes in the mail. I don't want to hear you say, I got something in the mail today. I got something addressed to me. It's not you. And I need people to really break this program because they're still not seeing it if you're still saying that shit.
I bought a big box of red pens. I returned the sender all of it.
Yeah.
Big box of red pens.
Do yourself a favor. Do what I did. Take the mailbox off.
Yeah, that's next. House number, all of it.
Take the house number off and take the mailbox off. And wait do you see how quick the post office reacts.
Oh, yeah, I'm getting a little reaction out of my postman. He's on vacation now, conveniently, but... Yeah, we've talked a few times. That's interesting.
Yeah.
And again, what do when you take your numbers off?
What's that?
What do they do? What does the post office do when you?
Oh, they were right quick on no mailbox. See, a mailbox says I consent to have mail. I consent to what comes to the house. What you've done is you've said no more UPU consent, and they get right out of joint. I never even read it. It was an order from the post office to reinstall the mailbox. And I said, well, that's kind of funny because how the fuck can I accept this because there's no mailbox to accept it. Right? So it's all scare tactics, all of it. They did not like it. It only took them a couple of days.
And then they backed off?
Well, they still try. I had a garbage can. So put all fraud mail here. I had that right on the top of the box. Put fraud mail here, please. That's it.
And then you never, you just left it out there?
Yeah, I didn't. It was garbage. Nothing to do with me. See, a mailbox or an open mail slot in your door, nail it shut, is consent that you are accepting terms of contract from other people.
Gotcha.
Good to know.
Again, I've been saying this. I've done it many times. I guess it's about bringing. See, here's the thing: is I move down the line, and it's going back to reminding people of things that I had done. But there's me assuming that people kind of hear this and get it. And see, when I talk about stuff, these are things that I did. These aren't concepts or theories. These are things that I actually physically had. I got the intent, and I thought, okay, well, if I don't have a mailbox, there's no consent, blah, 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 I'll take the fucking thing off. So I did. I do that, though. When I follow my intent immediately. I don't hum and haw about it, because as soon as you do, the fear sets in, and then you start justifying why you shouldn't do it, because something's going to happen that you won't like. Mm-hmm. Just do it.
Yes.
Follow your heart. Stop following the tricky little bastard all the time. And everyone does it. It drives me batty.
Well, Katie,
yeah.
Then I'm going to tell you what happened today. I was, I was just feeling that I should call in today, and I thought, well, I don't know what I'm going to say. There were a couple of things, but
you too, huh?
Yeah. Well, I think both of them are actually going to come up, but
you should get some tools and go take that mailbox off for me, please.
Atta girl. Now we're acting. Now we're directing the movie.
Oh my! I'm sorry.
Yeah, carry on, Patty.
This whole thing about fear now, everybody's got their own issue, and this is right now where we're at that point where whatever that last lingering little bit of fear is, it's time to get booted out. I think this is the present that we're dealing with right now. Mm-hmm. And there's been, and here I am ranting and raving the other night about, just get up and do it. And it really was me ranting and raving at myself. I mean, it was mirrored. It was totally mirrored. It was so perfect. And I just saw it today. So, because
and I was going to say many people, many other camera angles of you, got the same message. Right? So you were talking to yourself in many ways.
Absolutely. I didn't know. I knew that I was supposed to learn something through this rant I gave, and I've just been chewing on it. And today it kind of popped. And there's this one thing that had to do, which I hate doing. Well, first of all, shaving my head is one of them, but I'm kind of getting a bit more used to it. It's a vanity thing, right? And I have to get over it. And it's also a male thing. Like it's funny because I just looked up today. You had mentioned looking at birthdays or, the day of your birth and events that have happened on that day or birthday. So I did that, and I had done it before, and I remembered that this is so bizarre. Oh, my God. I remembered reading this guy, the drummer for the band, AC/DC. His name is Phil Ruger or Rugg or something, and he was born on May 19th, 1954, same birthday year as me. And he's the only character that I can find that I've always looked, and just here and there, who has the exact same birthday as me. So I went back to it today, and and so I'm reading his bio, and as soon as I saw the AC/DC, because I'm going,
Well, you had me at AC/DC, right? The allegory is clear. Keep going.
Yeah, very clear. And I had been just not shaving my head because I'm just like a Taurus, okay? Like I'm just like, no. Right? And so finally the universe starts kicking my butt, okay? And that was today. And so I'm reading the bio on this guy, and they're talking about that he had actually left the band, okay? He had left because he wanted to sorry, that's my battery. Because he wanted to spend time with his family and just enjoy life. And so, but they said, well, he did get asked to come back temporarily, and it was during the time when they were doing a song or an album called Razor's Edge. And I'm like, okay, I got about 2 days growth here, I guess. Better get the old razor out, eh? Not only did I not want to shave my head, and I was really obstinate about it. By the way, my head is shaved now.
I figured as much.
Yeah, I
Keep
know.
going.
Yeah, you got to practice what you preach, right? So the other thing that I was very, very resistant to do, which created fear, and it was for no reason. I mean, it was just a really crazy thing, and I've been resisting it. And today, the universe just came down on me, and I said, okay, you know what? I said, I am so sick of feeling like shit. I said, I'm going to do what I know I'm supposed to do, and I'm going to go beyond it. In fact, I'm going to one-up you, because you tell me, you know what I did? You know what I had to do to break this?
Keep going.
I had to pack because I'm living in my friend's home in a basement suite, but they only have a shower down here, so I've had cancer in my back and bones and everything, and I'm in so much pain sometimes that I need to soak in their bathtub. So I get the Epsom salts and this and that, and there's been this whole collection of things that have happened, and it's all about joining the dots. And if you don't follow something to the end where you're supposed to, let's say you just go, well, I'm not going to do it or whatever, you will not have that connection of energy that's going to connect you to your next open door. So the thing that I'm learning is that it's critical to finish, to start where you finished. Okay, so for instance, like I had things that had happened where I had to take my my laptop up to the bathroom upstairs. I have to smoke cannabis for pain, right? So I had to take my little cannabis thing up. And there's a whole collection of things that I was doing. Well, I didn't want to do them all, and so I stopped doing them. Well, I got a kick in the butt today going, okay, you either do this, your time's up. And I kept keep seeing time all the time, watches and time, and I'm like, okay, all right. So I just go, okay, you know what? The last time I remember when I finished the whole thing that I had to do, there was nobody home at this time when I was up. This was like a month or two ago upstairs. And what I did is I had forgot something downstairs, so I knew the universe was telling me to do this. I know it. I had to go naked. Okay, and this is not pretty, okay? I had to go naked.
No, come on. Keep going.
No, truly. From the bathroom, through the living room, through the kitchen, down the stairs, into the laundry room, and into my suite. Now, I'm standing at the door, really dripping, okay, and I'm going, are you fucking kidding me? right? And I'm like, okay, this is a fear. This is my fear. Okay, not only going naked, but secondly, my head's shaved. Like this is really a double whammy. So I go, okay, well, I did it. And I just went, I don't even care anymore, right? So I did it. And lo and behold, that's how I discovered nobody was home, because at that point, I didn't know if anybody was home. I suspected maybe they weren't, but I wasn't sure, which created even more trepidation, right? But, when you're obedient, you'll be taken care of. This is what I'm discovering. And this is a really...
Yeah, those are leaps of faith. And, of course, there would be no one there. It was just the thought and the fear that someone might be there. And there's the doubt, Mrs. Doubtfire. Right?
Yeah, so, and, that kept me in such... a self-imposed prison, which we are all living in right now. But for so Katie, so today when I was meditating and stuff, and I knew I had to suck it up. Now, so today was the big day, and I just went, okay, you know what? I know what I got to do, and I'm going to do it. In fact, you know what? I'm not only going to walk out of the bathtub today and come downstairs or walk out naked. I'm going to walk up naked. And as soon as I did that, yeah. And I didn't even know who was home. And there's a painter downstairs here, okay, right outside my door. There's a painter. His name's Dave, okay? I can hear him. He's like, I can almost hear him breathing. He's that close to me. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, the guy is right there. I don't know. I'm going, no way, right? Well, I go, I am. And the universe said, okay, put your underwear on. You can go out. So I go out. I had to do my laundry, and I was sort of waiting, and I was just feeling that sense of when I should go. It's all about timing, right? And I'm sort of waiting, and I'm going to, I'm saying, okay, just give me a sign. I'm ready. Like, I'm standing in the kitchen naked, and I've just got my laundry basket waiting to go. And I was just, okay, anytime now. And I think when you do that, you reverse it. Like, I'm just really anxious to get this. It's not because I wanted to. It was because I just wanted to get it over with. But I think the universe saw it as maybe the same thing, right? Because I'm really pressing towards going. Well, I just went to hell with it. I'm going anyway. I don't give a shit whether he's there, because I wanted to go. Well, sure enough, I open the door. There's nobody there. I can hear something upstairs. His boots. He's upstairs painting in the kitchen upstairs, and I'm downstairs doing my laundry. I come back in. I put my soap in. I took my time, thinking, okay, I'm just going to mess with you and see how good you are. I took my time, which really, that's really a double leap of faith, because you're really pushing the envelope, right? But it worked. I mean, I just went merrily back into my suite, and within a minute he was back downstairs. There was that window of space, and I had to walk this out today. And cutting my cards was nothing compared to this.
You're testing the invisible boundaries, and the only boundaries that are there are the ones you put on yourself.
In your mind. And so, I ended up leaving, I kind of sit here when I was packing my stuff, because there are certain things I have to take, and there are things that if I don't take and I get in the tub, I got to come back down and get them. And I'm, I know the game, okay? So I'm going to work it. So I make sure my pack is packed and I've got everything I need. Well, of course, I get up there and I forgot something. And I'm going, I don't know if Maureen's home. I don't know where this Dave guy is. And I'm going, okay, I don't care. And I walked naked downstairs. I didn't give a shit. I went, you know what? It's going to be worse for you to see me than for me to see you, and I can assure you.
Yeah, what you're describing is actually a lot of the walk that I've had. That trepidation of self, and you want to talk baby steps. Yeah, I can give you a list of baby steps that would knock your socks off. In terms of being me, just being me, right? Never mind all the other stuff that people take for granted, and that's what I'm. If there's anything I'm offering in terms of reality, is start putting the other being's shoes on instead of judging or thinking that because you've got this happening and this happening, everything's peachy keen and all the rest of it. Don't, when you're talking to someone else, stop assuming that that's their world too. It's not. It's not. I'll do the things that I can do with my limitations. Most people that would listen to me every night would think, everything's fine, Kate's peachy, and all the rest of it. No one has a clue of what I have to go through every day. trying to go back over the things and in my mind, and of course trying to get my my head on for shows and just all the, like, even Talk with Ninja there a while back. I'm female. I'm a little higher maintenance female, and there's things that I have to do that other women take for granted. So I've got to take the extra step every day where most women can just they don't, but that's not something they're thinking of, right? And that is the walking between worlds. I get to exist in both, and I get to see the contrast, the extreme contrast of both. And a lot of well, imagine you having to do this just to be you. There's a challenge to all the guys. Tell you what, go and pick up a nice outfit and shoes and everything else, and take a walk out into the street and tell me how you feel. Because of the stigma that this divide and conquered society we live in casts judgment immediately. And we're caught in the illusion, just because you see someone, regardless of gender, you don't know who they are. They do. They most certainly do. And I'm going to go right back to Lana Wachowski. Who would have thunk? Well, Lana did. And I know what she thunk. And I know what kind of courage that took for her to do that. But there's also something else, that even beings like myself, fairly high profile, let's just say I am not a closet transsexual or transcendent, whatever you want to call it, right? There are many, the vast majority, most people won't even know. You'd be walking past people in the street, and you have no idea what kind of turmoil is going on inside of them. It's a different perspective, and it's one that I treasure. And I also, at the other side of this, where I am now, I get to choose with the absolute freedom of being whatever I want.
Okay, when you just talked about how, oh, sorry, that's my phone beeping again. If I die, maybe you can pull me in on Skype. But when you look at Lana in her speech, and we hear you and we listen to how you are, and how, I see the parallels, and I see how similar you are, and so when I and many people talk about Lana and the sense and the feeling that they get from her, we're saying the same thing about you. And the thing that tells me is that you guys are the forerunners, and you've been the shield for us that are kind of coming up behind you. And there's from what you've been through, and I think about you all the time, about what your day must be like. I think, man, because when I was a nurse, I used to have a patient come in who was a transsexual, and she always came to me, and I always kind of dug her. She was a male but dressed up as a woman, and I had a real special place in my heart for her. And so I understand, and I see how beautiful, perfect, lovely, unbelievably fragrant your energies are. And when you see that perfection and that beauty and that truth just vibrating so beautifully, and you take that and you look outside the world and see the turmoil and the polarization, there is no way that this world will not be drawn to you guys. It's impossible.
It is. It's absolutely impossible, and I say that with utmost humility. It's like this. If you try to imagine a world full of two spirits, I think the only war you'd have is, who gets to use what nail polish color. Okay, that's about it. And then we're going to share anyway. It's like, oh, that looks great on you, right? But it's neutral. It is completely neutral because you live in a world that has constantly got you in fear because of the judgment in it. Where judgment to me, and that was conditioning that I got throughout my life. I have no words. I mean, I'm amazed at what Lana was able to convey in that speech, and I was thinking about that last night. After the show, I went out for a walk and to clear my head. And one of the things that I was thinking of, that it's actually easier for people like Lana and myself to come out, because we don't come out to, we do to our friends and family first and whatever. And I got to tell you, I went from completely hidden, completely. I mean, I had my own life at home with Sue and my daughters and whatever. They knew for years. Well, Sue's known. She was the first one I ever told. And that was back, I think I was 42. And I was suicidal. I was done. I couldn't deal with it anymore. And I had to tell somebody. And that's one of the reasons why in the trans community, or in the GBLT community, that's the gay, bisexual, lesbian, trans community, trans have by far the highest suicide rate. By far. The second doesn't even come close. Right? And that's because of the judgments of society. It is, and again, this is not a victim thing, guys, or oh, look at me and how powerful. No, this is a reality. And what people see in it, as far as, you can call it courage or whatever it is, I still can't see it that way, because I'm still living it, you see. So I am too close to the forest, the trees, and the wood to really be able to convey that accurately to anyone. I know that sounds kind of weird, but the best observer of me is someone outside of me, because I've been too judgmental of myself for my whole life. Right? So that's why I can be neutral, and there is a gift in there, though. There is an amazing gift in there, and it is very. It's neutral. There is a peace within it, in as much as here's the contrast. In this absolute war within ourselves, we know absolute peace, and that's what we're trying to share. The contrast. I choose peace. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, but you have to have peace within to bring it out. So it's a journey to get. I mean, it hasn't been easy. That's for sure.
Well, let's put things in perspective for everybody, shall we? I want a big shout out to Seamus, who just tagged me on Facebook. He just ditched the registered name. Good work. Well, I just, here, let's take a walk in my heels for 5 minutes. I'm going to show you how tough your road is. And this is one of the joys of walking this road. Because I have bitchin' rights. Oh, yeah, you want to tell me you're afraid? Well, okay, tell you what. Take on an entire world government system, all by yourself.
Yeah.
Deal with the people around you that are all gimmies looking for the next handout, right? Looking for the how to get out of this, how to get to that, without ever bothering to look at where the real problem starts. And on top of that, have this particular war going on inside of you, where that at some point you don't have a choice, because your honor is the most important thing to you. That you have to be honest not only with yourself, but you have to be honest with those outside of you. And then after all of this, right after the Judge Bows video, of course, that one a couple of people saw it. I had already been, actually I hadn't up to that point. It was shortly after that I said, because I couldn't deal with it anymore, because it was too high profile. It was, how can I sit here and, speak to this without actually telling people where this truth actually came from, the real me. Bottom line is, I didn't want the aspect to get credit for it. Someone's making a lot of noise and it hurts. Yeah, there's a lot of scraping going on. I don't know what that is. That hurts.
Mm-hmm.
I've only got one of my side of my headphones working right now, so it's all getting punched into my left ear, which goes right to my right brain.
Can I comment on that, Katie?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
there's
please.
a reason for that, because the fact that you just said that. Remember, I told you that my headphones were all messed up, and I had to tape on one, and my microphone wasn't working well.
Yeah.
I ended up. What happened was the set that I got. I broke one of the ends, so I only had one, just like yourself, one ear working. Okay, and
right.
This is going to make total sense to you. So I think you might probably even know where I'm going on this, but. So that one broke, and I thought, well, I go down to, because I've got no money, I went down to Salvation Army. They always have a pair there, and I bought like a pair for like $5, right? Well, I get them home, and they were pink, so I knew they were for me. So I get them home, and lo and behold, only one side of the ear works, again. And so also, because I'm laying on my floor on my mattress, magnet mattress, and I can't, because of my spine, I can't turn it, I can't sit upright, so I have to either lay down. Well, I'm always laying on my head, so I can only really put one earplug in because my other ear is crushed against the pillow, right? So the thing that I've been getting is that when we use both of our ears, it brings division. Even when I'm doing a lot of the, the frequency healing where they say to use the two headphones, I'm only using one, and this is what I've been led to be doing. And I think what it does is I use both ears. I switch them over. Like with meditation stuff that I do, I'll use my left ear, and then I'll use my right ear on another time, but never both at the same time. And the fact that you just told me that your one earphone is broken is perhaps a confirmation. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. Hello?
Sorry about that. I unmuted and it muted it again. Yeah, it's all things for a reason. Absolutely. No. That was. Yeah, my computer likes playing tricks on me sometimes. Yeah, because I unmuted and it was clear, and then I started talking and it muted. So there you go. But all things for a reason. That's something that. See, there's something that resonates with you. And you get to share it with everybody.
It makes sense. And the fact that you had just said that, because I've been doing this with the one ear for a couple of weeks now. So, and I haven't been led to change it. So I'm sticking with it. So.
No, good stuff. Good stuff. Again, this is. I think if anything that I really want to touch on tonight is let's get rid of the fear, guys. You're talking to someone, people, they'll tune in, listen, and whatever, but you got to understand, you're talking to someone that has spent the vast majority of their life in absolute terror of themselves. If I can do it, all you big tough men can for sure, because I'm only half the man you are, and all you big tough women can too, because I'm only half the woman you are, you see. So I've been working at a complete 50% disadvantage up to this point to both genders. So no one has any excuses. So maybe if there's something that can be garnered out of my particular walk, particular game that movie that I'm shooting, maybe that might be helpful. For me to try to share the viewpoint, I do the best I can every night. But to really get down to the nitty gritty of it, that's why when I see things like when Lana came out, that is complete vindication. That was a very powerful thing for me, very powerful, because I'm thinking, well, if Lana can do it, I can. I have been doing it, right? So it was kind of neat because as I was looking at it, I was able to, one, see myself, and two, look at what I'd, based on the fact that they'd been hidden for so long. Like 12 years. But the timing was perfect. And you didn't hear people yelling nasty things at her. You had people constantly applauding her. So I guess if there is one, pretty pink feather to put in my cap, is this. And these are things I have to come to terms with as well, and accept that, you know, what I've had to walk through and confront on a daily basis took a lot more courage than I thought I had. And the universe is a courageous being. I mean, talking with Magnolia there, it's I was Skyping back and forth with her this morning, texting, whatever, and I didn't know what to offer. But, you know, she put her intent in place and started making noise. Started calling people on their bullshit. Lost the fear. This is what I guess I'm trying to get across to people. Are you going to wait until it's absolutely fucking desperation before you'll do something? Is that how conditioned you are? Is that how comfortable you are? That you can't get a pair of scissors out and start chopping up identification? Is that how enslaved you are? Ask yourself, look, a piece of paper is controlling your life. That's pretty sad. It was controlling mine too. You know?
Well, and the more people do it, the easier it's going to be for everybody else, because it's about vibration. So, you know, if we're getting dribs and drabs, everybody that's, you know, stepping up to the plate and doing it, it's going to be harder on them. But if we do it in volume, that whole wave, it's going to be so much more powerful if we do it all together and soon.
Exactly. Now, we do it now, you know, and I can say that. I know you can say it, and there's a lot of other people can say it too. Mm-hmm. It's just the rest of the people we're waiting for. What's keeping you? I
can't wait. I mean, think of this. Just if people can get around their heads, it's just like you're taking your power back. And, you know, just picture yourself. Put a vision in your head. Play it out like a movie so your brain gets used to seeing this and used to this information. Just picture yourself. You know, you're driving your car without your license plates. You got no insurance. You got nothing. You just got your birth certificate, and a cop pulls you over. You know, and you roll down the window, and he goes, "Can I see your whatever?" And you go, "No." And he goes, "Get out of the car." I go, "No." You know what? They can't do anything. This is so empowering. I would think everybody would be jumping on the bandwagon to get going on this.
Well, you know, that whole taking back your own sovereignty, for lack of a better word, taking back your own power, taking back your own life, that's a scary proposition for most people, because they're still waiting for the nanny state to wipe their bums. There's still something in the system that they're clinging to that they cannot let go. And when people, it's like, take your driver's license, for example. Okay, one, you're committing a crime by having it, all right? So there's the fact. You cut your driver's license in half, look around you and see if your world completely collapsed. No, it didn't, actually. Okay, we'll pick something else up and cut it, and see if your world still falls apart immediately. And stop manifesting the whole concept that you're actually going to need it. The fact that you have this intent that you need it is reinforcing the manifestation in your movie. I lost count of the number of cops I passed today. A big smile on my face, hair blowing in the wind. You know? I don't have consideration on it. And it's the fears that are going to keep you manifesting this crap over and over. You're going to keep playing the same movie rerun. Have you not had enough of the deja vus yet? Been here before, same timeline. Better fix that. You know? So it's baby steps. I've said it in the past. Start with stop using credit cards and debit cards. Cut the damn things up. You're a slave to them. Stop using the things that the system wants you to use to be digital, you know, ether. That's the next step, right? Get you right back into the ether. If you're not using anything physical other than a card, it's just transferring all the energy through the ether. That's when you're completely enslaved. Completely. Money's bad enough, but as soon as they get it to that point where it's cashless, right? And it's drip by drip conditioning. And they keep making up these new little laws every day, hundreds and thousands of them. To do what? To control you. I don't know. How much longer are you going to put up with it? How much longer? You know, there's things, little things that everyone can do every day. Imagine putting, $1 a day away and leaving it alone. At the end of the year, you got $365. You didn't miss it. But it's a little hard to think of what you can do with $1 versus 365, And I'm using that only as an example, right? If you make one intentful choice today, by the end of a year, you've made 365 of them, and if you don't think your world has changed by that time, you got issues. Because everything you do that empowers you, everything you do that changes your paradigm, changes your paradigm. And we've been beaten down so long. It's like, guys, how long are you going to sit in the stroller? How long are you going to wait for someone to say it's okay, you can do that, or are you just going to stand up and do it? And that's what separates the wheat from the chaff. The only one that can do that is you. I can't do it for you. And every day that keeps going on, and Patty, you're in the same boat, and so many of us are. We're trapped in your fear. You see, there's the thing. You might come to this show and think, this is good, this is great to come to. And at the same time, if you're not, let's quote Jesus on this one. Why do you call me Lord and not do the things that I ask you to do? Let me put it in Katie radio terms. Why do you listen to this show and not do the things that I've done and shown you to do? All that is ego pandering. That's just making you feel better, that you feel like you're doing something. What are we doing? Are we doing this together, or are you just waiting for someone else to do it for you so you can jump on the coattails and say, look what I did? This is your game. This is your movie. I can't direct it for you. But I can certainly tell you from this camera angle how much more beautiful the world is that everyone's reluctant and resistant to. What is it? Better the devil you know than the one you don't? And I'll take the one that I don't, because it's not been created. So there is no devil. It's like what Magnolia was saying about Calden Sheriff and talking to these guys, right? You're dealing with people that are so deeply ingrained in their system and so deeply ingrained in their title and their paycheck and their assumed power. And she's right. That shoe will be on the other foot for people like sheriffs and cops. As soon as their usefulness is done, they get wiped out. And very quickly, because there's nothing more dangerous than someone who thinks they're God with a gun. They're the first to go. Those who are first go last, and those who are last go first. Right? The jarheads, be it cops or military, are the first to go. Because they're downright dangerous. They were conditioned that way. They were conditioned to be dangerous against their fellow man. And if you think their masters are going to let them just run free after their usefulness is done, jarheads, think again. You want to talk about the guillotines? Well, that's what they talk about it in the fear porn thing. I see other things in it, but there's an allegory. Well, guess who they're for? They're not for the peaceful ones. You see, one of the things that these jarheads and the rest of them don't understand, and I'm talking government officials and all the rest of it that are empowering all of this stuff, what they're doing is solidifying their own doom. And the real test here is, how much damage will you do to yourself? When we think in terms of the one consciousness, the only thing that resonates for me is these are things in my consciousness that I will blot out forever. These are things that I would never want in my realm, my world. So I eliminate the characters out of my movie. And they go back to the ether of non-existence where they came from. That's the power of the one. That's the power of you. There's your choice. And they've made theirs. there's still time to change it, but won't they be surprised when they don't exist anymore? I mean, if all of these things were your memory and you had the power to remove them from your memory, would you? As above, so below. You're damn straight. You know? Just a couple of thoughts there. It's what are we doing to change it? Are we still going to be playing part and parcel to this, or are we going to affect the change in our own world? And I know many of you have, and I also know that many of you haven't. Oops, better open up Fran's line. I thought I had it open. I thought I opened your line, Fran. I thought for sure I did. Anyway, where's Patty? Did we lose her? Looks like it. Okay, let me see. Oh, and Holly, you got bumped off, so I'll open up your line again.
Yeah. Well, Kate, I've been trying to get out of the game for quite some time, and like you said, it's been just mostly baby steps because it is a journey, and especially when you're all alone and you're kind of doubting yourself and what's real, what's even real, and what is going on here. It's a crazy thing, and I think I realize I've got 1 foot in and 1 foot out, and I don't want to be there. So I'm going to do whatever. I don't even care because doing something is better than nothing, and I know, I trust that there is the magic, and we're just conditioned to operating on this earthly plane, and there's so much more. And we're not
hugely.
Isn't that what they've been using to control us? Is other ways? There's magic.
Well, that's it. This part of us in this game, they're the part of the magic that's been controlling it, and all I'm trying to share now is how to see it and how to find your own yellow brick road, and take the reins.
Right.
And that's it. And as you were saying about 1 foot in, 1 foot out, there's a degree of 1 foot in and 1 foot out. You see, the thing is, you can still play this game up to the very, very last moment where your foot comes completely out.
Yeah.
And the more people that get past that 50% in, 50% out, you just got to be 51% out, and that's the pendulum shift, right?
Yeah.
So pick 50% or a little bit more of the stuff that you can get rid of. And universe loves a courageous being. That's a fact. We're here to tame our cowardly lions, so. Yeah, again, baby steps. There's enough of us here. There is enough around you now.
Right.
Everyone. That you can do these things. And you've got people to talk to, people with the experience that have done things.
Yeah,
at least,
that's making a difference for sure. It's empowering.
Yeah. Well, go back to 20 years ago when people were catching on to this, how they felt, right? Like I said, I'm a relative newcomer in the last 4 or 5 years, really hardcore in the game for about 3 years now. So I look back, and even then I see people that have been in it for 30, 40, 50 years, and they still haven't picked up on the movie yet, which is, for me, is mind-blowing. They're still caught in the same illusion, still caught in the same physical game. They never, they uncovered a whole bunch of stuff, and I can think of a lot of people, very well-known people, that are still caught in their own illusion. They're still trying to solve the same problems with the same approach, and they're still getting their asses handed to them the same way. Best change that operating basis. You know?
Yeah.
It's like my computer. It's this little computer here, Internet Explorer, which I absolutely hate, works, and my favorite, Mozilla Firefox, doesn't. Windows 7, whatever that's all about, I have no idea, but you know what I mean. But I use the operating system that is available to me, and I just kind of change it to my own needs. I use it a little differently, you know, but don't expect different answers using the same approaches and the same concepts. I mean, the system will keep throwing things at us like carrots to try to keep dragnetting more. That's when I see things like opt-in, whatever, coming out, and other things coming out. That for me is also, there's that beautiful, oh, it's good. No, for me it's pure evil, because it's another dragnet to divide and conquer those that are awakening and gathering, to continually divide them with their own truths or concepts of, you know. Here, just sign up here. We'll set you free. Yeah, okay, Savior. It's all the same program. You know, so what do you do? Well, like I said, every night I'll just keep plugging away until something gives, or until I can't do it anymore. I'm good either way. I let go. Just like Patty was saying about, and I don't know if you guys caught the concept she was talking about. But as soon as she overcame her fear and decided just to trance on through the house naked, the universe cleared the way. Same way it clears it for me when I go out traveling. You know, that's why when people say to me, well, what about this, because you don't have... Would you stop manifesting your shit in my world? Thanks. That's what you think. That's okay. That's your movie. Yeah, you can expect to see them. I don't. And I don't. Isn't that neat? Yeah, Celestine Prophecies. That would be a good one. I think a good moment right now would be to toss a tune on. What do you guys think? I'm just in the mood for a song. Oh, I got asked to play this last night, so I'm going to play it tonight. Was it Vincent? I think asked for this. So if it was, this one's for you, Vincent. Holly, I'm just going to mute your mic out because you got a lot of background noise, and then I'll bring you back on after the song. All right, there we go. Yeah, some Skypes have a lot of background. It's nothing personal. I know it's not you. It's just Skype. It can be that way. All right, so I do believe it was Vincent. So this one's for you.
You're listening to Critical Mass Radio. Now it's our turn.
When it just can't get much better. Feel the sun on your face even when it's rainy weather. When nothing matters, just as long as we're together. You're the sun to me. You're the sun to me. I can't remember ever feeling like I'm feeling. Hitting the clouds all day got me flying, got me reeling. And there ain't no way my heart can't be concealing. You're the sun to me. You're the sun to me. And I find just a little bit more and more each day. Another reason that'll settle in. I know I found my way. All I had to do was look far enough to see. You're the sun to me. reasons they won't need explaining. Why I smile all day even though it's always raining. 'Cause you're the one thing that is constant and sustaining. You're the sun to me. You're the sun to me. And I find just a little bit more and more each day. Another reason that'll settle in. I know I found my way. All I had to do was look far enough to see. You're the sun to me. And I find just a little bit more and more each day. Another reason that'll settle in. I know I found my way. All I had to do was look far enough to see. You're the sun to me. Ever woke up when it just can't get much better?
You're listening to Critical Mass Radio. Now it's our turn.
There we go. Little button hesitation. Gotta love it. Anyway, yeah, I got you in with me, Patty, I think. Just make sure you're there. Yep, I did have Charisma in with me, and I'm not sure what happened there. Okay, yeah, because I'm not sure I'm going to roll. I got another little less than 20 minutes left here. I'm not sure I'm going to go into the rollover tonight. My apologies, guys. I just not feeling it, you know. I'd love to hear from you guys. You'll keep it rolling. So if you put your hands up. Oh, I'll tell you what. I am going to bring in Consuela. Get ready, baby. Here it comes. It's brand new to Skype. And how are you? Consuela. Maybe you can't. Well, you have to be able to hear me unless you haven't got a headset. So, all right. Well, your mic's open. If you haven't got a headset, no harm, no foul. It won't make a difference anyway. But if you do, your mic's open, hon. Anybody else want to jump in here? All you got to do is hit 1 on your dial pad. And Fran, your mic's been open for a bit. Am I still on the air? Patty, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Oh, good. Okay. Thanks for pulling me in. My battery died again.
Oh yeah, I saw the phone drop off there. So, we got Colleen jumping in and new one, Facebook. That's an interesting Skype panel. I'm gonna get Colleen's line open here. There we go. Colleen's open and Facebook. It's a brand new one, so let's bring you in. We do like to include everyone at the table here. Yes?
Because I was talking away on the phone, and I don't know how long I was talking for, and I kind of didn't hear anything happen. Going, hello, you guys there? I realized my bad. I don't even know what I was talking about now.
Right on. All right, well, I got you there, Facebook, and Colleen. So who wants to go first?
Hello.
Hey, Colleen. I was going to say, not everybody at once now. Don't be excited or anything.
I was waiting for Facebook.
I know, we're so polite, aren't we?
Yes. Hello, Kate. Hello,
How are you?
everyone. Hi, Patty.
Hi.
I'm good. So much just swirling around here in my mind and heart, listening to everything. And the first thing I'd like to say is at the beginning you were talking about, just our energy and how when we're really connected in and we know who we are, we can walk down the street and just blow out the street lights. And my thought was yes, and we can rev them back up. We can put them back on with our energy too.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I've had that experience with when I've been doing really intense meditation and processes and chanting, and many of the time I would be sitting at the beach in my car, and many times just looking out at the ocean, watching the dolphins, and I would blow out the motor or the battery in my car, and so I would go to turn my car on, and it would make that sound where there's no battery, and sometimes somebody that may be nearby would say, "Do you want to charge?" And I would say, "Oh, I think I'm okay." And within a short period of time, when you really focus that energy, you can charge your battery back up.
Yep, I've had experiences like that.
Yeah, and it's really cool to, test that. And then it's
exactly.
Cool when you have AAA too, just in case. But
just in case.
So
yeah.
when you were talking, I had my the Tao of the horse, and I pulled a card, and I just held it to my heart, and just what you were saying, and I think it was Fran earlier, and
Magnolia.
Before Magnolia. Was it Fran?
Fran didn't jump in. It was Holly.
Oh, okay.
Holly.
Oh, Holly. Okay. So I pulled the card, and what it was when you were talking about that, and the card I pulled was number 10, and it's called the Lightning Horse, and it's a picture of the night sky, and it's clouds in a horse shape, and lightning flashing all around. I don't know what that sound is, Kate. Does somebody have their phone on? Or from here, it sounds like a crashing every so often.
Yeah, I know. Let me just double check here. Yeah, hang on a sec.
Okay.
Facebook, are you there? Facebook. Hello.
Hello?
There you are.
Oh, hey there.
Yeah, there was some noise going on in the background, guys. So what I would suggest, I'll let everyone know that your mics are open as soon as I get my mouse to work here. Colleen, of course, Facebook, Ninja, Fran's mic is open. Patty, you're open because you're in with me. So Magnolia's there, Miranda's there, and Blu-ray. So just be mindful if you can mute on your end. That would be great. And that just saves any background noise, breathing and stuff like that. If you got a good mic, it gets picked up nicely. So there you go.
Well, no coincidences, right? Because what I'm hearing, it sounds like lightning crashing, thunder crashing. But it was lightning coming out of this horse, and the horse is Lightning Horse. And it says, flash of inspiration, glimpse of the next level, unmanifested possibilities. And that's when you're talking about the blowing out the street lights. Okay, then it says, as clouds obscure the moon and stars, a lightning horse illuminates the landscape and disappears into the night. Inspiration surges like an electric current through your body, flashing hints of clarity to come. When the imagination stirs, new ideas burst into consciousness, carrying tremendous energy. Yet these brief glimpses of potential can be hard to hang on to, taking significant effort and dedication to manifest. So when we have that energy surging through us and we have the experience and we wake up to who we are and the power that we have, then it's like a glimpse and it goes away. And my thought at that time was yes, and how we can take that power and blast that battery or that light night post street light back up with our power. And then Patty got on and she was saying what she was saying and just that power surging. And at the same time, when the show started, Kate, I was feeling like an agitation, kind of an agitated, kind of an intense energy. And I had to kind of just...
You were feeling me.
Yes, I was feeling you.
What was I going to say there? What I experience from time to time, and I'm sure all of you have felt this. You know, you have these amazing, like, constant runs of epiphany after epiphany after epiphany, and things to start getting exposed, and that's that glimpse you speak of, right? And a lot of times these epiphanies are very fleeting, and that's because you've got it and you experience that bliss for that amount of time, and then what happens, it's almost like a junkie needing something stronger to get higher the next time, right? So, and periodically, and that's what I was thinking about that today with me, periodically you get into that headspace, and, you know, with me it's about how do I continually top this and top that and top the other, right? So, of course, I'm judging myself to an nth degree, you know, because I got people that come on all the time, and it's like, oh, Katie better deliver, and I put a lot of undue pressure on myself. So that's a lot of the energy, that's what a lot of the energy I was feeling today, and that's just me passing judgment on me. So yeah. Yeah, it's interesting, Kate, because we talked briefly today, and I felt that as soon as you answered the phone. I don't know what it was. There was like a kind of a kind of a agitated, intense feeling in your voice. And then when you started the show, I felt that, and isn't it interesting, I would pull the card with the horse with lightning flashing all around. Yeah, you know, contrary to popular belief, I am human. God in human form, right? See, I look at these as blessing days as well, in that, wait a minute, Kate's just like the rest of us. Well, yeah, maybe, you know, perchance you might do the little things that I do then, because I'm no different than you, you know. And everyone on this call, Kate, I'm sure completely can relate to that and know that it's okay and that you have every right to feel irritated or intense whenever you do. And look at the energy that was flowing. And the card I picked with the lightning, of course there's intensity, right? Oh, and exactly. Through that intensity comes awareness and enlightenment. It can, if we connect into it. And I was going to say that, oh my gosh, you know, people that are listening, whether it's 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 tonight. Or one. Every one of them are such beautiful beings. They're here, Kate. They think of all the other hundreds of places that every single person listening could be. Could be right now, and they're here. They're on this call listening to you and to everyone and connecting into the energy. And everyone might not be able to tear up their driver's license and you know, do that right away. Like you said, baby steps, but they're doing other things. And yes, we would love for everyone to do it now so we can move into this life, this beautiful life we're all supposed to be living, without all this programming and the, you know, slave state.
but everyone is here and they want to learn, and they're beautiful, and they're taking baby steps. Or some, maybe are having these epiphanies as we speak right now. And, I, as an example, 20 years ago, I learned about vaccinations, and I said, when I have a child, I will never, ever put a vaccination into my child. I will not have a hospital birth. So that was my step. And so everyone is here doing different things that we may never know that they're doing. And I'm sorry, I'm just like so, there's so much going on. But
no, you're doing fine, hon. You keep going.
Okay, that's my steps, and I would take my daughter to the different schools, and whether it was a private, school or a charter school, or we went through all kinds of different unschooling and homeschooling and charter schooling, because I didn't want her to be a part of this slave state. And so that was my steps, and it was so uncomfortable, and people looking at you like you're mad. You're not going to vaccinate your child. You're not going to have them go to public school. You have them in unschooling. What is wrong with this woman? So we all do different things. Yes. And my daughter now is 18, and she's a beautiful indigo Gemini being. And healthy as hell, with nothing in her, nothing. And the people that did do it, it's okay. But we're all learning as we go. And I love everyone and just where everybody is, and the people who are connected in here. And every night, it really is a special place to be. And they've chosen. And they've chosen to be, yes, and they've chosen to be here. So that was the first thing on my mind.
That's the pressure I put on myself to make sure that I have something that people can take with them. And guys, you may not be aware of it, but I do put a shit pile of undue pressure on myself.
Yes.
And when
why
I
do you
can't
do that, Kate?
Why?
Yes.
I do it for completely selfish reasons. I'm tired.
Well, I'm going to call you on that. Wouldn't that be
I know. You've
ego?
already called me on it. No. You already called me on it. And again, ego would fight it, right?
Yeah.
See, neutrality goes, I need another observation from another camera angle, because there's something I'm not seeing. So I'm always grateful when someone has another camera angle and brings it in, so that little inkling that I have going on in the back of my mind, which is there, is confirmed by people like yourself. Thank you.
And we're all there for each other. Isn't it beautiful?
Okay.
It's beyond beautiful. It's beyond the word.
Now let me give you the contrast. If I were to put Fluffy out, I'd say, "No, I'm fine. What's your problem?" Okay, that's what Fluffy would say.
Yeah.
No, it's again for me. It's about presenting the humanity, and you know how I feel about pedestals when people put me or try to, and they put me at a different level than them. No, sorry. I fight tooth and nail to make sure that everyone understands that we're all equal here. This is a level playing field. Just because I, do these shows every single night doesn't make me special. This is what I do. What do you guys do during the day? What is it that floats your boat? And I ask myself that question every day. Why do I do this? Am I satiating an ego thing here? Am I trespassing on free will choice of others? Am I doing a good thing? Am I doing a bad thing? These are all questions I ask of myself. And the only answer that really comes back is I do this because there's a purpose to it. I might not be fully aware of the purpose, but I do know there is one. And I do know that for me, this is right in line with everything I've done in my life, so it fits. It's not at the other side of the coin. I'm looking forward to the day where I never have to do this again.
Yeah.
Well, Kate, I've got an allegory for what you just said. This whole conversation. My phone battery, how it's limited. It's got limited power, right? And it has had for a while. And so the word phone is like phonics, right?
Yeah, phony. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just got this allegory when you guys were saying this, is that, my phone actually died again tonight, and it didn't take long at all. It didn't have as much oomph as it usually had. Well, you may have heard a phone ring in the background. Well, it was this phone because I put it back on the charger.
Keep going.
So what I did is I thought, oh man, I better take the batteries out because I don't want you guys to hear my phone ringing. I guess it had just enough juice for it to ring, right?
Yeah.
Well, I now just took the batteries out, and the phonics are dead.
Okay, once, Patty, I've got just over a minute left here. I just want to do my shout-out. Great big thanks to Paul Giovanni, Lisa, and the crew at criticalmassradio.co.uk. Thank you guys so much for making this platform possible at all, so that I get to bear my humanity for everybody, to show them just how human we all are. And I can do that without this platform. Well, I could, but it would be very limited. It would just be in very small circles. So this way we can reach the entire world. And I'm going back to your allegory, Patty. It's time for all of us to get naked.
And it ain't pretty.
Allegorically, it's time for us to get naked with ourselves. And as I was listening to what you were saying, I knew the purpose of what you were doing. You were actually directing your show where there would not be anyone or anything in the way of you going through this, and you were taking your leaps of faith. So
that's what I did.
You got to get naked with this universe.
And that's one of the scariest things, isn't it, to be naked, because of how we've been programmed. And such a beautiful thing, such pure, free.
The irony. Here's the irony of here's Kate getting naked. Kate being totally naked is when she has on the prettiest thing she has. I'm going back a little bit, okay? That was me being completely naked.
Wow.
And showing the world who I was by what I was wearing on the outside.
Oh, man. Wow.
Well, you brought it up, Patty, so I'm just following that along with you. So,
but see, each one of us has our own
I walk naked
style.
every day, basically.
Yes, and each one of us, you have yours, Kate, and each one of us has ours, that in that nakedness, that beauty.
Well, don't they say bury your soul? It's time to bury your soul. Who are you? What is your real dance, and why are you hiding it from the rest of us? Because it's absolutely stunning, And Charisma gets to see just how absolutely stunning it is on Monday night. We get to go hang out and yeah.
Would you take some pictures?
Sure. That's the thing with me. As much as I love doing this, I absolutely love interacting with people. Like face to face and hanging out and whatever. It's been there's days that part of my movie frustrates me, and of course, not having complete control of. I have got much more control now than I did have. Greedy bitch that I am. But anyway, but there's still, like, every night I go for a walk and what is it I need? What is it I need? What is it I need? Just to click on. I need to click on something, and it's been eating at me since the day I got here. In this round, there are some things very specific that just one switch I have to turn, and that's what I'm after. And I know my yellow brick road leads there. So call it my impatience. That's why I had to cut my strings. I had to be Pinocchio and cut the strings, and walk the yellow brick road. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Patty, what were you saying? I didn't quite catch that about your phone.
Yeah, the battery thing. Keep going. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. So then there's another allegory I just got too. I'm gonna, if I could, just kind of flow into that one. It kind of go hand in hand, but yeah, the fact, like when I was looking at the phone, it was representing phonics and the lies and the system, really, isn't it? It's what kept us entrapped. Well, because my phone represents the system, okay, that we're in now, or some of us are, and so as my battery was getting shorter and shorter and less power, that was indicating that the system is losing its power. Okay, as my battery was losing its power, it represented the system losing it. And so when of course, I've got, somebody phoned here. When I got cut off your show, Katie, battery just totally died, so I put it on the charger. Well, I guess it had enough juice to receive 2 phone calls. Well, I guess you could hear them because it was pretty loud, and I thought, I better take the batteries out because I don't want you guys. I don't know how to mute this thing, so I have to do all this stuff manually, right? Because my Skype is not up to date or something. So anyway, I ended up taking the batteries out of the phone simply and quite quickly, to be honest, because I didn't want anybody to phone back and disturb the show. So as soon as I did that, I sit back up and I go, holy shit, we just took the phonic system down. I mean, that's what it represented. The phone's totally dead now. The batteries are out.
That's interesting because when you were talking earlier, you said something about phone, and then you said, if I die, and I wrote that down as a note about our words and how words are so powerful, and you said, if I die, and then you just said phonics, and there's, with the words, if I die, but then there's that other part that is that part that we do want to die, that part of the programming and the wow. And when you said that, I turned phone and just turned it around from phone, and it says enough.
I was going to say that before you said it because you sent it loud and clear. I saw it in reverse.
Yes.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
Enough,
I couldn't unmute fast enough. I was going to say enough, right?
Yeah.
Have you had enough yet?
Wow, that is really powerful.
Okay, now I know why we're here tonight. That's all I was looking for. So, this thing you were talking about regarding being naked is absolutely critical. So
can you sum it up, Katie?
Every day I take a walk outside that door. Every day I wake up and get dressed and get ready, whatever. When I walk out that door to the rest of this world, I am completely naked. There is nothing that anyone can't see about me. Right? And you've heard me talk about, we all have closets. Every single individual has something in their closet that they are terrified to bring out. And it could be something trivial to anyone else. It's like, say I'm talking to you guys and I ask, you would look at me and go, yeah, whatever. Me, I'm like, oh my God, they must think I'm a freak. And, you see what I'm saying? So you are naked. And for me, this has been a journey of stripping off the Emperor's clothes to see that the Emperor truly is naked.
That's what was given to me too today.
Yeah, we are the Emperors. Time to get naked.
Yeah, that's what was given to me when I was taking my clothes off. Same thing.
Yeah. So with you, there's the quad, right? With you, taking your clothes off to be naked was making you naked, and that includes shaving your head too, right? These are very powerful things you're doing. And for me, you take all your clothes off to be naked. I put mine on to be naked.
Oh, man.
It's a mirror.
Oh my God.
Yes, and Miranda just piped in, standing in our naked truth, and that's all I'm doing is I'm standing in my complete nudity.
That's what I was going to say. And when we come on and we speak, we are being naked in a different way than you're saying of Kate. But we are being naked because we're
it's allegory.
opening up. Yes.
Okay, we got our allegory for the night. I'm happy now. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I knew someone would deliver where I could not. Thank you so much.
Can I just add?
Oh, sorry.
Can I just add? It's very interesting when people have, whether you want to call them breakdowns, breakthroughs, etc. They nearly always take all their clothes off, and I can raise my hand to that. I was one of those, and I don't get naked easily either. But I stood naked in front of an entire family when I was standing in my naked truth, and I was like watching it as a scene, as if I was part of it, but I wasn't actually there. It was very, very extraordinary. But you literally do that. You literally stand in your naked truth, and it's very important. The same with the shaving of the hair. I've done it now twice, Patty, and I've never felt more beautiful as a woman being bald, which is an extraordinary thing because you really would think it would be, in a sense, the opposite. You know, and we hide behind this, often our hair, and, you know, this, again, it's like a veil. It's not really us. But when there's nothing there to hide you, you know, you, again, are naked in your truth, completely bare, bearing your all. Yay. Let's get naked.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So
that's so true, Miranda. Yeah, and with the nakedness, you just feel the power more. You take your clothes off because you don't want anything to impinge or to cover the truth of who you are. And isn't it interesting when you see someone that's really speaking their truth? They start taking their jacket off, or they take their scarf off and they throw it down. They don't want it on their body.
Mm. And even babies, when you look at babies when they're first here and they're naked and they're so cherubly and chubby and gorgeous and completely free. And I don't know, is it even a memory of like the Garden of Eden? You know, I mean, whether or not we were really there, but that whole thing of we weren't inhibited because we didn't allow all these things now that get in the way of, you know, sex is in the way, or, you know, what people think of us, or whether we think we're too fat and you know, all that crap that we've taken on board, that we've been fed and hypnotized by. Whereas, you know, when you're really just being, you don't give a damn what anybody thinks, because you're part, again, you've dropped the ego. It's gone, it's past. You're just you. And totally accepting of yourself, I think.
Yeah, and that's critical, actually, what you just said there, because even now there's still reservations within me, and these are the things that I'm looking at, going, why? And but they're the things that I don't know. I'm looking at them going, I've had really nothing but great experiences being naked and in my own truth. And for me, actually getting naked is much more comfortable. I'd probably feel more comfortable walking down the street naked than I would with a dress on. But before, now it's the other way around for sure. But
well, I know when I come home, and I'm sure many people are the same. When you come into your home, where you feel so comfortable, you feel yourself. What do? You take your clothes off. I take all my clothes off.
Yep.
Yeah, I often don't. I mean, today I had to get dressed because I went out. But most of the time I don't at all. You know, I stay naked most of the time.
Yeah.
Really? Do you really?
Yeah, I do.
Like, I find that fascinating. Like,
and I have bare feet all the time. All the time I have bare feet.
Yes, I do it as much as I can too. No bra, no underwear, nothing to bind your body.
Yeah.
Yes, you're just so free. And if you can wear cotton, natural clothes, it is so much healthier, and your whole aura and your energy field, there's no artificial materials that are interfering with your energy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we haven't heard from, well, Facebook jumped in, but we haven't really heard from her. So, Facebook, jump in here. Get naked with us. It's a girls' night out, get naked.
Hi there, how are you all doing?
Good.
Hey.
Wonderful.
Hi. It's very inspiring tonight. Everybody's really getting connected.
I recognize this voice. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I was back in Ireland for 3 months doing loads
I
of
can tell.
parties.
I can tell your accent's back, full
That's
force.
it. I've just been living with the trees for 3 months, so.
Right on. Dead on.
Yeah.
Right you are.
Hey, Kate, before I forget, I have a request.
Yes, absolutely. What do you need?
At the ending, could you close with the song Halfway Home?
I sure can.
Okay.
And we'll see. Well, I'll try to do it when we actually have enough time to play the whole song. But it's been interesting to see where the songs get cut off. You know.
Yeah.
You know, like the other night, when I hit halfway home, it got a dun 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 dun. Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye. And what that told me at that instant was, oh no, we're a lot further than halfway home. We're like a chord away from home.
Yeah.
Right. So. Yeah, very, very interesting. But yes, I will absolutely.
Thank you.
No worries, thank you. That's guys. I just want to get back to playing, and that's really it. You know, end of story.
Well, Kate, you know this. What I just said about the phone, the telephone.
Mm-hmm.
I want to read this to you because this is the other side of the story I just told about the phone, and this is the allegory. I just kind of got it today. About 3 weeks ago, my friend Brian, Brian.
Yep.
A friend of mine. He's a computer guy. He's my computer guy, and just kind of giving you the history so you can see where I'm going here. We go on hikes together. So when I was feeling good this one day, it was a Sunday, he asked me to go to Lighthouse Park in West Vancouver here. It's a beautiful trail, it's a beautiful park, and it's right on the ocean. And my friend that I'm staying with here has a dog, and the dog's name is Madison. And Miranda, you can do a lexigram on Madison. I did a wee bit of an anagram just to present this for two, but I think you could really carry this one away. Especially when you hear the story. It's M as in Mary, A, D as in Donald, I, S as in Sam, O, N as in Nance.
Okay.
And so I said to Brian, is it okay if Madison comes? Because I'd like to take the dog out. And he goes, oh, yeah. Well, my urine, what I do is like I collect it. And then when I go out on a walk, I just kind of like water plants and I chunk it down to, there's a creek here, and it's got pollution and stuff in it. So I just kind of, do a toss here and there. And so when I was going to Lighthouse Park, of course, I brought, a little squirty container with my urine in it. And so this is really so crazy when you hear the story. So here we are at Lighthouse Park, and here's Brian. Now, Brian represents, okay, he's the computer guy. So Brian represents, if you switch the letters around, you get brain. Okay, so he's the male energy. He's the computer, the binary code. He's the male. So then we've got myself. Well, I've got a shaved head. I usually wear pink. I represent the female energy. I'm female. So then we have Madison, the dog. The dog is female. And dog is spelled backwards is God. Madison is the cutest, whitest dog, pure white. And so here we are. And when you do I did just a bit of an anagram for Madison. And what you have is Mason ID. That's Mason identification.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And there's a few more in there, too, but I'll let you do those, okay, because this is kind of fun. So so what happened is I'm in the park and I'm putting my urine everywhere, just kind of, wherever. And, of course, it's got the DNA in it. Now, the interesting thing is that I've been doing magnet therapy pretty intensely for quite a while because of the cancer, and especially now trying to deprogram this reptilian brain. I've got those huge neodymium magnets on my skull, and so I'm full of magnetic energy. Like I'm just like, I should be sticking to lampposts really, like when I walk by them. I'm really magnetized. So here's my urine, my DNA is collecting, and all, this liquid that's going through my body is, this magnetism, I'm sure, is attracted to it. So when my urine around, I'm just kind of going with this. I could be totally wrong, but it makes sense to me that because of the magnetic energy within my body, that it would be represented also in the urine. This is my point. So anyway, so we're all walking through the park. Well, we were there for quite a while, maybe 3 hours. Madison was peeing everywhere because dogs do that. Well, I had to pee, so I go and pee. Well, Brian goes, well, I got to pee too, so the three of us are peeing all over this lighthouse park, okay? Not to mention I brought my own homemade pee that I brought from home, and I'm putting it in the ocean. Like, I'm trying to do this really discreetly because I don't want Brian to think I'm nuts. I did kind of mention the urine thing to him, but he thinks I'm a bit out there anyway. This would just throw him off his loop, I think. So I'm trying to squirt urine in the ocean. I tell him to go down and see what the water's like, and while he's down there, I'm tossing my urine in the ocean, right? So I get home here, and I'm thinking, okay, what was this about? It only came to me this morning, and the whole thing is just leading up to it. Lighthouse Park. The whole thing, Katie, remember, was it yesterday I was talking about the torch, I was a torch bearer?
Yeah, it was yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. So then here again, it's another light. It's Lighthouse Park. This Lighthouse Park is really just such a good place, and to me this represented that, the Israelites, okay, L-I-T-E-S, lights, however you want to look at that group of people to be, whoever you think they are coming back, and so they're going to be attracted to this light. The DNA, like, it's just, do you understand what I'm saying? This whole thing is just a package now.
Oh yeah, no, and again, when you say lights, I flip it around and see style, and it's all about style, isn't it? In courts especially, right? Yeah. Style? Yeah, S-T-I-L-E, right? Just like
I don't
that.
get that one.
Well, no, it's going back to some other work that others had done. Don't have the details on it, but it as soon as you start talking about lights, oh yeah, wait a minute, style, and there's other things in there as well that you can. I'm sure we'll pull other things out of it. Keep going.
I don't know that I have anything else to say.
I've done the lexigram.
Oh, on Madison?
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
This is a real quickie. I am damn mad. A mad son. Son is a man. A main man. A son. A ma son. A mason. A son in sin. A scion. A ion. I am so on.
Wow.
Yeah, just a couple in there, eh?
Hey.
Now,
yeah.
Okay. No, Patty, I have a pure white little dog sitting right here next to me. But I wanted to say, Kate, I think it was yesterday, Miranda did the lexigram for license.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't remember, after I listened, and then you posted something on Facebook, a breakdown of the lexicograms. And under license, I don't I didn't see. What came to me was essence. I don't remember hearing Miranda saying essence out of license. Did you, Miranda?
No, I didn't. But you can't spell it because you haven't got two S's.
Oh, I thought you could use like one of the letters more than once.
No, not if you're being really strict.
Not if you're being really strict?
No, not if you're really, really doing it properly. You shouldn't.
Well, if you don't do it strict, I looked up essence. I looked up essence then from license. Essence. Can I share that, Kate?
Yeah.
Okay. It says,
people, guys, you don't have to ask for my permission. That's why the stage is here.
Okay.
It's set. Go. Do your thing.
Okay. It says essence, the permanent as contrasted with the accidental element of being, the individual real or ultimate nature of a thing, especially as opposed to its existence. A painting that captures the essence of the land. The properties or attributes by means of which something can be placed in its proper class or identified as being what is. I hear a echo there. And then also, I found this really interesting. In philosophy, essence is the attribute or set of attributes that make an entity or substance what it fundamentally is, and which it has by necessity and without which it loses its identity. Essence is contrasted with accident, a property that the entity or substance has contingently, without which the substance can still retain its identity. And then down here it says that in his dialogue, Plato suggests that concrete beings acquire their essence through their relations to forms, abstract, universal, logically or ontologically separate from the objects of sense perception. These forms are often put forth as the models or paradigms of which sensible things are copies. Anyway, I found that really interesting, the essence from license, using two S's.
Well, yeah, and it goes back to the ascends, right? You go into the religious aspect of it as well. I hate saying religious because the ascends were nothing religious, right?
No.
So, yeah, and there was a bit of an echo. I'm not sure where that's coming from. So,
but phonetically, it would make sense that, you know, when if you do too, Kate, with some things, you can mess the sound around. So
yeah,
phonetically, it does make sense that essence would be right up there with license because it's got that.
Well, yeah, and listening to the trail that you went on, yeah, it totally makes sense. So, you know, it's sorry, that noise in the background's the kettle. Just came in.
It makes sense. It makes sense out of essence.
Oh, it does. That's very good.
Don't wait for me. You guys are on a roll. I'm actually enjoying listening for a change.
Can I butt in here?
You just did.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I'm just so new to this Skype technology, and I don't know whether you can hear me or not. I find that last speech really inspiring, and the echo made it almost penetrate a lot deeper, you know. I was just wondering, about decoding names and sounds and letters, whether you could do mine.
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
What is your name?
You're the word elf.
It's Rebecca, but it's Rebkah, so ancient Hebrew, and then Ann, Ann, Steele, Steele.
I'll take a look. It's so much easier. What I'm noticing now that I find so much easier to do is when I'm doing a person, if they're talking, if you see what I mean. So I don't know if you want to Skype me, if you make friends with me, and we have a chat when I'm doing it.
Yeah.
That really helps.
Yeah, no problem.
Or I'll go you one better. Why don't you just start talking about your situation? That you just said you're back in Ireland. Maybe tell a bit about your travels as far as where you were and how you got back there, and that way you're talking experience, and there's always resonance in that. Always.
Well, I've driven to move back to Galway to do some art shows and make connections, but I was in a sort of destructive relationship, and I moved into this city that was extremely transient and full of traditional music and beautiful and inspiring, and so many sort of tourists and belief in the magic of Ireland. But I kind of felt quite lost there. The energy was too transient, I felt like I was missing roots, so I went to Belfast and went to the country and connected with old friends, and came out of a sort of emotionally draining situation, and I've come back to London to do an art show. And I suppose all I can say is that the journey for me sort of been extremely metamorphic and transformative, and I feel like it's the first time I've been single in about 16 years with different relationships, so I'm really embracing my own sense of emotional independence and getting to know myself, so that's all I can say.
Yeah, it's quite a transition, eh? It takes a bit of getting used to actually hanging out with yourself.
Yeah, no, it's good, I'm enjoying it. I've been doing loads of crystal meditations, hugging trees, just reconnecting. I've changed my diet as well, like totally sort of vegetarian, and I don't know, I feel a lot cleaner, and feel sort of introspective. But it's a cycle, it's like the life-death life cycle, it's like that book I read that kind of changed my life in a sense was The Woman That Ran with Wolves. Are you familiar with it?
Yep. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. So it's it's about getting right back to your original core,
Yeah, but we've many cycles of life and death and metamorphosis, And I'm doing an artist talk in London on Sunday, so I've been listening to the show to get some inspiration and kind of do a talk about the process of becoming an artist and all the sort of breakthrough, transformation that had to happen to allow me to create from subconscious and feeling without sort of censoring or monitoring anything. So everything ties in, everything connects.
Absolutely, it does. It was again, like for me tonight, and that's the magic word. I've been really, like today in particular, speaking of connecting, today I really, really felt disconnected. And I haven't had this feeling for a very long time. It was, obviously it must have been needed. I woke up this morning and it was almost like it was just empty. There was nothing, and I'm thinking about all the stuff I've been going over, and what I'm probably going to start doing is listening back to some of my, our shows, and catching some of the energies, and because a lot of times the downloads when they're coming in, they're just traveling through, and they don't get a whole lot of time to stick. So I need to go back and revisit this stuff too, because a lot of this stuff is brand new to me as well. It's
Katie, maybe this is the universe telling you you're winding down.
Maybe, and I'm okay with that. I really am.
I am too.
And I don't have an issue with that. For me, it's, and I've still got to be careful with that whole rescue program, of feeling the need to help and want to be there. I'm going to be there anyway. So there's no need or want there. That's a fact. And it's like, last night there was fireflies, right? I love fireflies, and I can feel Miranda. She's already got it. And there was a firefly it was of course dark and what have you. And there's a firefly in the grass on the surface. It was flashing nice and bright, and I'm thinking it's kind of odd because you don't usually see them in the grass, right? So as I'm watching this, it looked like it was going deeper into the grass, and I had this sensation that it couldn't get out of the grass. And I was going to walk over and, no, stop. You got to just let nature be. You can't be the rescuer all the time. All things for a reason. Now, whether it was or not, I don't. But that was the energy I felt, that it wasn't able to, get itself out. It would have, But you feel that need. It's like even with insects, they land on me or whatever, and it's I love looking at them and going, aren't you just a nice little piece of work? They're beautiful, intricate. I don't know why and I've killed lots of insects in my life, and looking back at it, I was going, what an ignorant thing to do, Look at these beautiful little complete universes within themselves, and you're just walking along crushing them, and it's like, anyway, but I know Miranda's ready to go here. I can feel her.
I've got loads of words, and there's more and more and more coming. It's a matter of putting it together.
Okay.
But to actually write a lexigram. But you've got healer and seal, and seer, and earl, lash and slate, bark, art, of course, would be in there. Shake, ear, hear. There's masses of stuff, but I need to work on this a little bit more, yeah?
Yeah, thank you so much. That was great. It was truly amazing. Cheers.
Yeah, all good. Yeah.
There's a lot of things I've picked up myself in my name, but it's always interesting to hear, how it sounds to other people and what it projects and, what comes from the actual letters.
Yeah, and also it's a very much a layer thing. What you may see now, at another time you'll see something completely different. And that's why it's so important to just do it yourself, not cheat by, using any anagram systems, because there's quite a lot of them now, because then you don't get the joy of that discovery of, oh, that's in there, and that means this to me. Because there's somewhat, like the word shark is in here. Now, I don't know, I might not put that in a lexigram, or I might, and sharks may be something very important to you. Do you know what I mean? But it's about whether I can pick up on the words that are really going to mean the most to you as well.
Yeah. I mean, like, as an artist, I paint, like, the whole sort of ethos behind my works, archetypes and aliens. And they're sort of pan-dimensional entities. They're symbolic. A lot of the symbols sort of subconsciously before my knowingness is like the archetypal realm, a lot of big red figurative painting. There's been so many layers to my work as an artist. It's kind of peeling off the onion, but it also means to bind. Rebecca is the name, sort of. So it's sort of binding, the subconscious, all the projections, the angelic realms, and binding them in a sort of material reality, which goes with me being a Taurus, Gemini moon, very communicative. But as a name, it's like Ra as well, like sun god. I like to sort of shine light on different dimensions, and I suppose I do that through a lot of the transformative metamorphic experiences I've went through. And I also lived in a sort of commune set up in London when I was a child, where my father and a guy called Gaston Pierre were bringing the metamorphic technique to the UK.
Stop. Really?
Yeah.
My mum used to do the metamorphic, and my name was Moth.
Yeah, I mean, and we got so many different people in. When I was a child, I left my mother when I was 7 in Belfast to move to London. 7 as well is like a very important age in terms of cycles. And I lived in the headquarters of the metamorphic technique, and I met so many amazing people, and it was such a transforming kind of therapy, but it's really played a big part in my work. And everything that you're saying there really relates to the name, the situations, the life cycles, the environments, all make sense.
Totally.
And I'm sorry, is this Facebook talking? I didn't catch her name.
Rebecca, yes.
Rebecca. Oh, Rebecca. Rebecca, you had mentioned and she's one of my favorites. It's Clarissa Pinkola Estes, Women Who Run.
Yeah,
amazing. Women Who Run with the Wolves.
Yeah, and it's funny as well. One of the comments on the back of the book is from a lecturer called Anne Devlin, and that was also my father's English teacher, you know.
Oh, wow.
So
well, this one just popped up for me to read to you, and you may know it, but when you're speaking, it says, the psyches and souls of women also have their own cycles and seasons of doing and solitude, running and staying, being involved and being removed, questing and resting, creating and incubating, being of the world and returning to the soul place.
Yeah. It's beautiful, you know, it just carries off the page. It really stays with you, and I mean, a lot of women that I've met that have also read that book, you know, there seems to be a deep connection within us all. There was a reason that they read that book. They have a deep understanding of the bare bones of humanity, of their soul, of their sense of self, and you meet them, and everyone's read the book, and they can talk about things in such a deeper way, you know. Not because
yes, you just said that beautifully.
Not because of the book, but because of the consciousness that everyone's flowing on, you know. It taps into a certain essence and spirit of, as womanhood, or feeling, you know, as a woman, how we feel and the depthness that we feel, and explains it in this symbolic way that really touches us, you know.
And you said that word. You said that word again, essence. Yes,
Rebecca,
it is.
Have you worked with menstrual blood?
Pardon?
Have you worked with menstrual blood, your menstrual blood?
How do I work with it?
Have you had, what I'm saying is, look it up, get interested in it, because it would really help you.
It's very powerful.
Very, very powerful.
Can you explain the basics to me?
Yeah, well, the next time you're menstruating, you take a bit of your blood and put it on your third eye.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Meditate with it. Feel it, smell it, taste it. Are you drinking urine?
Yeah, I do actually. When I'm getting really healthy and stuff, I do. Yeah.
I think all of those things really help. Sorry.
Yes, and also what I've done is you put the blood back into Mother Earth. If you can find a place out in nature and let some of the blood flow into the earth, into the Mother, it's just an incredible, beautiful exchange and powerful, loving experience.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, you know, I'd rather pee in nature than on toilets. And at the minute, I live in this Jacobean mansion near Epping Forest. And it's just an arts residency, you know, I don't own it. But it feels like the spirits want me to stay here, you know, and it's stunning. And it's...
I was going to say, you just said Epping Forest, and that was a song I was thinking of last night when I was walking the Battle of Epping Forest by Rush. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's beautiful, like, to live near London, but yet to have the city, the society, you know, the communication aspect, but yet to live in this big mansion where, you know, I've loads of space to sort of feel and move around, and a big meadow behind me. I'm really grateful, you know, I'm very lucky. But yet not owning anything, you know, not trying to own anything, just being here and enjoying the environment instead of working, you know, like a slave 9 to 5 to live in a big mansion and, you know, have nothing else but that material sort of accolade, you know. It kind of feels like we can have great things, great spaces, if we learn to explore the energy within them and kind of give back, you know. It's not about ownership, it's about understanding environments and kind of exploring them. You know, and I've always been a Taurus, you know, I've always kind of been quite into material abundance and, you know, big houses, architectures. I'm a number 4 in numerology, you know, so I have this sort of habit of trying to, you know, be attached to material things, but I'm learning to kind of detach from that, but experience these wonderful buildings and architecture as kind of somebody who walks between worlds, you know.
Yeah, I think that's the big lesson for all of us. You know, we covered the whole aspect of, you know, being your naked truth. What is the one thing that makes you the most naked, and learning to stand in it, and tying right back into what you just said. You know, yeah.
And you're only lacking a D. If you had a D, you'd actually have naked in your name.
I'm not quite there. I'm not quite there.
Not quite. Really.
Well, I don't have a D, you know. Next life, maybe. Next life.
You know, but yeah, it's about walking between the worlds. Only when you become naked can you. And I think, you see, that resonates as an allegory directly to me. You know, only when you become naked and show your true self can you be a true walker between worlds.
In being naked, you become invisible.
Yeah, and that's because you become the Skywalker. You know, they can't see you because you're not you're not vibrating at a frequency that you can be seen. You know,
it's a fearless resonance.
Yeah.
There's no fear.
And I think I've mentioned this to you before, Kate, that certain people that I don't really want to connect with anymore, I've literally walked down the road and literally walked flat bang into them. They've looked me straight in the face
and not seen you.
Completely unrecognized, not seen me at all. It's wonderful.
Yeah, you know. And that goes back to what I was saying earlier about parts of our consciousness that we just don't want in there anymore, and that for me is the purge. And you know, we all have the choices to make, trying to be part of the consciousness we want to become, and those that do not wish to be that, well, then as much as consciousness is, or the all is all about creation, it has also got the whole notion. It knows what, and I say it's us, right? We know what we want and we know what we don't want anymore, because we have the contrast. So that's another reason why I have a great deal of pity on parts of our consciousness that refuse to awaken and keep doing. We're at a point now where, we're good, we're done with the harm, let's build. And there are those that are still caught in that paradigm, and you know, sorry, they're hitting the cutting room floor with me. They don't exist in my movie anymore. And well, we all know what happens to the stuff that's on the cutting room floor. It doesn't exist in the most literal sense. You know, it's not something I'm going to run through my projector anyway. Let's put it that way. Fair. You know, but yeah, interesting night. You know, it's like today with me, it's been more. See, here's something else too. I get lots of new people that keep showing up, and that's beautiful. It's people coming to the table, and I know what we've experienced over the last, well, let's just say the last year anyway, since I've got to know most of you. To try to, sum up that in terms of shows and whatever we've all been part of, and when you have new people coming in, not necessarily blind, but blinder than most for this type of table we sit at, it's a lot of, and it's undue pressure I put on myself to try to bring people up to speed. Some nights you'll hear I get frustrated. It's like, didn't we cover this like 100 times already? Oh, that's right. There's new people coming, so I have to keep going through these things over and over, and that's when it doesn't become frustrating, because I know I'm not repeating myself because there's someone new hearing it for the first time, so it's not a repeat, right? So And again, it's just the pressure I put on myself to, well, we've heard about these shows, and well, that wasn't what I expected, right? So, well, guaranteed it won't be what you expect. Nothing on this show is what you expect. At least nothing on this show is what I expect. That's for sure. It just kind of happens. We just let it happen, right? So we get into the center stream. But anyway, it just Mercury retrograde in Cancer right now. So for those that don't think that there is effect, we are all part of the universe. So some days I feel it more than others.
And the next 3 weeks are harsh for everyone. They're very
Are they
harsh.
really?
So, yeah. It's there's a lot going on with Pluto at the moment as well.
There's going to be a lot of transformation.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mean that all bad, but just to be aware.
That's why I say transformation, because transformation.
Breathe.
Yeah, transformation can take on whatever form it takes on. Let's just say the transformation will be exactly what is needed for all of us. And that, like you were saying, that can be perceived. In some people, it will be a great thing, and others will be like, "Oh shit, this sucks," right? What is your camera angle? What's your perspective? What's your resonance? What are you? Where are you in the game, basically? So.
And just remember, it's just a movie. It's just a ride.
That's all I was telling myself today. It's just a movie. Why am I, what? I'm human, and...
just pretend you're an actor, right?
Well, that's it. I'm a director, right? So.
Well, you could say that when you go out, Kate, like if you're nervous about it. And
I'm not. No? It's... there's still the occasional reservation, but... no, for the most part, I just throw a smile on and go.
Yeah.
That's... I actually... Yeah, well, you'll see one day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's... I'm one of the very, 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 very fortunate transgenders in that I know some of my kindred, and that trying to quote pass as in the role, it's going to be extremely difficult for them. Based on body shape, size, and everything else. I'm lucky. I was gifted with heavy mom, right? Oh, you look so much like your mom. I know, you have no idea. I remember that all growing up. Even like seeing people later I hadn't seen for years. Says, oh my God, every time I see you, I think you look so much like your mom. And of course, this is before they knew, and I'm thinking to myself, if you only knew. I looked great in her dresses too. Oh man. Oh, my mom knew. That's one of the reasons why it was such a hard thing for me when she left. It's like, she knew who I was. She never came out and told me, but she knew who I was. And I had lots of experiences growing up where there were no illusions, But
like, were any of did you tell any close friends, like, at all, or was this just solely you kept everything to yourself? Yeah,
I kept everything till I talked to Sue, and that was about 7 years ago.
Oh yeah.
So over 4 decades.
Oh man.
I'm just intrigued in a sense. I don't know. Isn't it almost harder to actually tell your partner that? Because within that, even though they're gaining much, they're losing that person. You know what I mean? I would think that's really hard.
Well, at the time, Sue wasn't my partner. She was just my best friend. She worked with me in music, and she basically was my road manager kind of thing, and we're just really good friends. And like I said, when she went through her divorce with her husband and everything else, and, anytime she needed money or she needed, anything you need, just let me know. I helped her deal with some of the stuff with that, and another legal issue with work and whatever, and paid her rent a few times, and just always there because she had a rough go of it, and I always made sure that she was okay, because she took care of booking stuff with me, and took care of my website and what have you, just to. And she was someone that, of course, I'm at a gig and I'm ready to puke at any moment, right? And it was just that it was a crutch for me too as well, to have someone there that I trusted, that I knew. And see, that's why this whole stripping and ripping down of Universe, when everything went south last year, to the point now where, you know, she won't even talk to me. I know why, but that's okay. Where, and I look back, and these things that I was doing for her, they were gifts with no obligation, or so I thought. And of course, when everything went south, it didn't matter. None of that mattered. And it doesn't matter what I put in place that she fell into. That was an obligation. So that had to be let go of. So there had to be no hanging on of anything, you know. So it was, you know, in one fell swoop, I lost a best friend and my partner when things went south last year ago February. You know, so and of course my daughters, I've seen them twice briefly at the hospice and the funeral home when my brother-in-law died last summer, and that's it. You know, and they're the three most critical points of light in my life that got. I mean, this is the thing, when Universe. This is why I know in my own naked truth that I stand in it. I stand in truth, and I will not yield from it. That's why I know when I tell people, when you stand in the truth, the Universe will strip away everything that you're clinging on to that is so dear and trapping you physically to get you back, to allow you to be the eagle to fly. And, yeah, well, if this eagle now with broken wings has somehow learned to fly, I think maybe being on the air is therapy for me. Who knows? But we got about a minute if you guys want to hear Halfway Home.
Yeah.
So, and
Thank
you know, we
you.
can pick.
Yes.
No worries. We can pick this up tonight or tomorrow night where we left off. That was the thing too, because we had literally hammered everything home last night, and it just got into this beautiful little chit chat. It was awesome. I loved it. So there was nothing to tie it to, because we like hit this beautiful pinnacle, and that's what I was feeling this morning when I woke up. I woke up with. I'm empty. I have to find something, and I of course when I do that, left brain kicks in and everything is screwed up. So there you go. But yeah, we've got enough time for, let me see, Halfway Home, and quick shout out for criticalmassradio.co.uk. So we'll pick this up tomorrow night where we left off. Okay.
Thanks, Katie.
All right, darling.
The Naked Truth.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Love you guys more than you could ever put in words. So, and we're more than halfway home. So we'll catch you guys tomorrow night.
All right, darling. Night night.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you.
You're listening to Critical Mass Radio. Now it's our turn.
I could
Video provided by VerdictProductions.com.